podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Hi, this is Leo Laporte, and this is my Tech Guy podcast. This show originally aired on the Premier Networks on Saturday, November 14th, 2020. This is episode 1745. Enjoy. The Tech Guy comes to you from TWiT's LastPass Studios. Now, I know you're focused on security, but are your employees? LastPass can ensure they are by making access and authentication seamless, whether employees are working in the office or remotely. Visit LastPass.com/TWiT to learn more. This episode of The Tech Guy is brought to you by ArmorLock. Take control of your data privacy with G Technology's ArmorLock NVMe SSD. Never again compromise speed for security. Go to getarmorlock.com to learn more and get yours today. And by LastPass. Give your IT and security leaders the control they need of password security with the award-winning LastPass. Visit LastPass.com/TWiT to find out how they can help you. And by ESET. ESET protects businesses worldwide with internet security products and services backed by world-class research and tech support. Get an interactive demo at try.eset.com/TWiT to start your free trial today. Why, hey. How are you today? Leo, I'm a little giddy. Leo Laporte, the Tech Guy here. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography. We got your smartphones. We got your smart watches. We got your Big Sur and your iPhone 12. We got Apple M1 Macintoshes. We got a lot of stuff to talk about today. 8888 Ask Leo is my phone number if you want to talk high tech. 888-827-5536. That's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Outside that area, worldwide, you could still reach me. You just got to, actually it works anywhere. Just have, if you have Skype out or something that'll let you call a phone number using your computer, just call that number and it should be free. 8888 Ask Leo. Website where we put everything so you don't have to write it down. My scribe, James DeRufo, scribing away. James will do that, put that all up at techguylabs.com. Questions, answers, even audio and video after the fact. And that's free. There's no sign up. Tech Guy, that's me. Labs, that's where the beakers and Bunsen burners are, .com. techguylabs.com. That's free. No sign up. Nothing. Just walk in. Wander. It's a website where everybody knows your name. Well, no, but everybody does know your IP address. That's close enough. The new iPhone is in my hot little hands. This is the big one, the iPhone 12 Pro Max. The Mini and the Max came out. You could order it 2 weeks ago, and it arrived in people's hands yesterday as I'm speaking. It is big. It is big. A lot of people say it's big. It is big. It's ginormous. It's the biggest iPhone ever made. Giant screen. I like it though. It's heavy. My wife says, "Wow, because she has one too." She says, "That's heavy." I said, "Yeah, it's solid, right? That feels like that's quality." Heavy means quality. That's quality. I do like the big screen. You get a little more room on the screen for a little more stuff, and of course you get this is the only iPhone, the iPhone 12 Pro Max, with the new sensor that has still 12 megapixels, but it's a bigger sensor. So that means each dot on the sensor is a larger size. I think it's 1.5 microns. Bigger dots, bigger sensors dots mean more light is gathered, means better low light performance. And this is pretty amazing in low light. You can be in a candlelit room and get a beautiful image. The reason low light's important on cameras is anything but bright sunlight is low light. Well, a cloudy day would be bright light, but anything inside pretty much is low light. So it's important, obviously, since many of the photos you want to take are going to be indoors, birthday pictures and the kitty cats and all that. That's going to be indoors shots, and this does a very nice job. It's a nice little camera, portrait mode and super high quality video and all of that. But it is big, and the camera bump. That's what we call where the camera module is on the back is raised. It's quite a bump. There is a camera bump on there. And that worries me a little bit because it means if you put it down on a surface, it's the camera lenses that are resting on the surface to be scratched and all that. And I don't like that. That bothers me a little bit. But that's the price you pay. I mean, this is a thick phone. Partly that's because of the 5G, the Verizon 5G antennas. You notice I say Verizon. That seems to be the company that paid them the most. I don't have 5G. I have just regular everyday LTE. But most people don't have 5G. And if you do, it's probably the low band version, which is fine. But that's nice. Nice. It's an iPhone. What are you going to say? It's an iPhone. It's just another iPhone. The big announcement this week was Apple announced its new Macintosh computers running the M1 chips. Of course, I ordered one and won't be here till next week, but I wanted to try it out and give you some sense of whether it's worth it. Same price. What's interesting, Apple is charging the same price. They announced 3 new Mac computers running on this new Apple-designed processor. They call it the M1. The processor in the newest iPhones is the A14. Same thing with the newest iPads, A14. M1, it's based on the A14. It's similar, but it has more cores, more GPU power. It's got a lot more transistors. It's a pretty impressive first generation from Apple. Price, what's nice, they didn't raise the prices. So they released a MacBook Air, $999 starting price. And the Education Edition is $100 less if you're a student or a teacher. They announced a Mac Mini, which was kind of surprising, also $100 less than their existing Mac Mini. Dropped in the price. In fact, if you want to buy an Intel Mac Mini now, it's going to cost you a lot more, $300 more to get the Intel version. Some people still want the Intel version because it's unknown how compatible software will be. Some software surely will not run well. Anyway, on the new M1 chip, we shall see. They also announced a MacBook Pro 13, which is what I ordered. None of them can go more than 16 gigs of RAM or more than 2 USB 4/Thunderbolt ports. And that's a limitation of the chip. So there are a number of people saying, well, you should probably wait. There's 2 reasons you might want to wait if you're a Mac user. One, if you're not sure how compatible, we don't even have these yet. So we haven't tried them. We don't know what the compatibility issues will be. It is a first generation MacBook chip. So, there could be issues that we don't know about. So that's one. The other is it is limited. If you want more RAM or if you want more ports, you're going to wait because they'll fix that. The reason the RAM is limited is because it's on the chip. It's a system on a chip, so it looks like a single chip. There's lots of things on it, but there's a system on a chip. And besides the processor, there's also memory on that, which means it's faster. It's a unified memory architecture. That's what the game machines have used for some time to improve performance. So that should be very interesting. And it may be you don't need as much RAM. iPhones historically don't come with as much RAM as Android phones. Maybe you don't need all the RAM that you used to need on an Intel processor. We'll have to see. We'll just have to see. So there's a lot of question marks. So that's why you might not want to order. They still sell the Intels. They still sell the Intel Macs. Didn't kill those. So that's an indication that, they think some people are going to want to, or they have a lot of them. They're hanging out in the warehouse and they're going to sell them. They have a few of those. The other big thing, and this is a big change if you're a Mac user. I apologize, Windows users. I'm going to end this quickly. Your suffering is almost over. But the big thing if you're a Mac user is Big Sur, the new Mac OS. Mac OS 11, it goes to 11, came out this week. And it is cosmetically kind of an abrupt change. I find the menus a little harder to read. And there's some nice new features. You might look at it and go, well, why'd they changed everything how it looks. Did they change anything under the hood? And yes, they did. It's all kind of geeky stuff, but it's a lot more locked down. The thing that was most interesting to me this week was when they released Big Sur, which they did on Thursday, it ground a lot of old Macs to their knees. What? There was a huge slowdown. I didn't experience it with my Macs, but a lot of people reported massive slowdowns on their Macintosh computers. It turns out, and people didn't really know this, but your Macintosh computer phones home. Even if it's running older versions of the operating system like Catalina, phones home when you launch a new application, sends it a hash representing that application. Along with that goes an identifier, your IP address, time, and date. Apple says that's so we can verify that it's signed, that it's not malware. That's to protect you. That's for your protection. But we should point out that everybody along the way also sees this traffic. Yeah, going from your Macintosh computer to the Apple servers. We didn't even know about it until, thanks to all the demand for Big Sur on Thursday, the servers were slowed down. The certification servers were apparently in the same cluster because they weren't responding, and it turned out a lot of Macintosh computers just started running really slow. Now, there's ways to fix that. You can run software that will, if it fails, what do they call it? It fails gracefully. That's how they say it. It's like falling down the stairs gracefully. You're still falling down the stairs, but it's graceful. It's beautiful. It's a work of art. It fails gracefully, so that when the Macs can't get to the server, they continue on. The program still runs until the next time. But there might be a delay while it's checking the server, thinking maybe it's going to come back. If you're not online, it doesn't slow down. So one fix would be unplug your computer from the internet. It's not a great fix, but it fixes it. You can also block the calls. The most important thing to me is it reveals to us all that, people complain about Windows phoning home. Every time you launch an app on your Mac, it phones home. It says, Leo's launching Photoshop. Just thought you might like to know. Every time. What does Apple do with that? We don't know. And, of course, it goes through your internet service provider and other people. It's not encrypted. So what do they do with it? I don't know. But you're announcing, basically, where you are, what you're doing, what computer you're using, and what programs you're using every time you use a Mac. Wow. When did Microsoft got such heat for the telemetry they sent out to their servers? I guess Apple people just go, well, if you want privacy, it turns out you probably shouldn't use Microsoft or Apple products. Maybe an iPhone, I guess. On the desktop, though, maybe not. I'm just saying. Just point it out, that's all. We can talk more about that. Anything on your mind? 8888 Ask Leo. That is my phone number. I'd love to hear from you. 888-827-5536. That's toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. It's a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. She's back again for more abuse. The unbreakable Kimmy Schaffer. No. I shouldn't say that because that might encourage people to call and say Baba Booey or something, and I don't want them to do that. So, hello, Kim Schaffer.
Good morning. Oh, I won't say that. Somebody told me not to say that.
Not to say good morning?
Yeah, because some places don't play this live.
Oh, it's in the middle of the night in some countries right now.
So you can't please everybody. So good morning.
You and I, we're in the morning time zone where we are, but you may not be. So good day. That's why I don't say good morning when I start the show. I say, well, hey. How are you today? Because I figure that's pretty ecumenical. Nobody could complain about that, no matter what time zone you're in.
Exactly.
Anyway, how's you doing?
I'm good. I mean, the excitement this week is it rained.
It rained. We don't get, they say it doesn't rain in Southern California.
No.
But girl,
that was a
let
song.
me warn you. But then I don't remember the rest. When it pours, it
pours.
Yeah, something like that. Now we got a little drizzle. It'll be nice. It's nice. The sky's blue today.
Yeah.
That means we're not going to be lit on fire for another year. That's what you know what? Isn't that
Fingers
sad?
crossed.
That's what we think. That's what I think anyway. Oh, good. I don't have to worry about wildfires till next summer.
Yeah.
Wow.
Domingo. Well, I'm going to give you a choice. Do you want to go to Santa Rosa Valley, which is nowhere near here, or do you want to go to Montenegro?
Oh, I'm going to talk to Vidak. I know Vidak.
Okay.
He gave me a hat and a fan. I know Vidak wins on this one.
All right.
And then we'll talk to Santa Rosa. Thank you.
You're
Kim
welcome.
Sheffer. Hello, Vidak.
Hello. How are you doing?
My Montenegro friend. How's the COVID in Montenegro? Is everybody okay?
It's getting worse and worse. Cases are surging, and I'm trying to keep my mind off of it by avoiding the news.
I'm sorry I brought it up then. I apologize. So you're back home in Montenegro's beautiful, beautiful country. Used to be part of Yugoslavia, right?
That is correct, yes.
It's one of all of the many additional new states when Yugoslavia broke up. But boy, is it gorgeous. I just love Montenegro. So, and I love you, Vidak. It's nice to talk to you. You came to visit us a couple of years ago. I still have the hat. I'm looking at it right now with a Montenegro double-headed eagle on it.
Yay, and I have the picture of us with you wearing the hat
Nice.
in my room.
Thank you.
So.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you.
What can I do for you today?
Well, I am looking to build a little podcast / voiceover corner in my room, and I am going through some hardware, and I was thinking whether you could give me a couple of recommendations. I did have a couple of offers I want to run by you.
Okay.
And see what you think.
Okay.
So, by a guy that owns a music shop here really close to me, I got offered a Yamaha MG12 XU for a board.
Okay. Any board is nice. I mean, and Yamaha makes good gear, so that's a good choice.
Okay.
Is he going to give it to you?
No, I got to pay $480.
That's a good price. That's a good price.
I wish you would give it to me, you know?
Yeah. No, that's a good.
Anyway.
You need a mixer when you podcast if you want more than one person in the same room with you or multiple audio inputs, you need a mixer. If it's just you and your laptop, you can easily do that without a mixer. But having a mixer is nice. That probably is more than you need, but go ahead. That's good. That's a good choice. What else?
Well, I got the option. I got several options for a microphone. The simplest is the Shure SM58.
SM58s are the great microphones. They're large coil dynamic mics. They're affordable, and they're indestructible. They're widely used in rock and roll clubs because the lead singers have a tendency to hit people with them. I remember seeing David Letterman back when he was doing his show in New York City, and he had for his audience warm-up a SM58 on a mic cable that he would twirl around. He would bang on the ground, and it took a licking, and it kept on ticking. So stop right there. I think that's an excellent choice. And you do need a mixer if you're going to use, or some form of interface to get that into your computer if you're going to use those, because those are professional studio mics. Vidak, nice to talk to you. Hang on, we'll talk some more right after this. Sorry about that. I had to break, but I'm a big fan of the. What other choice do you have besides the Sennheiser? And those should be around under $150 for the SM58s.
Yeah, it's about that.
Yeah.
And now I have the SM7B, which I'm worried the board is not going to be able to drive properly, so that adds a possible cloud lifter needed. Is it?
The SM7B, because it's is it a condenser mic? This is the one everybody uses in radio stations. No, it's a dynamic mic. I don't know why it would need anything special. It should just plug into the board like normal. When you get a mic with a condenser, they need what's called phantom power, but almost all mixing boards that have XLR inputs will also have phantom power available.
Somebody told me about the Cloud Lifter because they said the microphone is a high gain microphone. I don't know. I remember where I used to work at a radio station I used to work at. We did have SM7Bs, but I did not see any additional stuff other than it being plugged into.
I have never used them myself. I've used them in many radio stations. Use them. Beatmaster in the chat room says it needs a lot of gain. Okay, so Cloud Lifter helps because it's basically it's a preamp for it.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's pretty much like.
Yeah.
Do you think I'd be okay doing voiceover work and podcasting with the
Podcasting would be fine to use the SM58s. Voiceover sometimes is more demanding. So a processor and a better mic, which the SM, the SM's nice. I mean, I get a Heil. You don't need a Cloud Lifter, and it's going to sound as good as the SM7B.
Okay.
And it's less. Heil PR40, it's about 350 instead of 400 or 500. And it's a large coil dynamic, and it's good with my voice. I think it'd be good with your voice. That's what we use. Okay. These are all Heils. Okay. Everything we use in the pod. And I wouldn't hesitate to do voiceover work with this.
All right. I guess I'm set then.
Hey, what's the podcast going to be, Vidak?
I like interviewing people.
Nice. I do too.
Yeah. So it's gonna be something like that.
Nice.
I'll let you know when it starts. Well, it's gonna be in Serbian. I don't know if you'll be able to listen to it.
It'll be in Serbian. I won't understand it, but I'll be proud of you anyway.
All right. Thanks.
That's actually a good idea because you were way oversaturated with English language podcasts, but I bet you you could probably make your way with a Serbian podcast pretty well. So I'd go for it.
I'll give it a shot.
Good luck.
See what happens.
Great to hear from you, Vidak.
I have a quick suggestion for
Sure.
There was a caller last week that had a disabled family member that needed some way to communicate.
Yes.
Now, I saw a Wired article. I'll drop a link into the chat room. It says that Intel has made the software as freeware, so it's open source now. You can get it on GitHub, I think.
Oh, nice.
And all it needs is a computer and running at least Windows XP and a camera to track your eye movement.
Oh, very interesting. We'll put that in the. If you put it in the chat room, James will get it and he'll put it in the show notes. I have to run, Vidak.
Okay.
Take care, my friend. Bye-bye. Well, I have more of the tech guy in just a little bit, but first I want to show you this. I'm so excited. My new little doohickey. This here is Armor Lock. And it's perfect timing for me because I'm upgrading to Big Sur. And what I want is an external drive I can put all my data on so it's absolutely safe before I do the upgrade. But anytime you want to connect an external drive, high-speed 10 gigabit per second drive to your computer and put your data on it, this is the choice because it's encrypted, because it's safe, it's secure. You know, I'm always nervous about putting my data on an external drive because I'm always worried that when I do, it's going to be floating around out there. You know, if you're a video production house, for instance, and you know, as a lot do, you ship files around, maybe TV shows or movies on external drives, that's risky. Anybody gets that drive, there goes your movie. But you keep it on a Armor Lock drive by G Technology, and it's safe. These are amazing. And by the way, you're not giving up anything. This is enterprise-grade storage, perfect for television production professionals, photographers, videographers and editors, and just people like me that want to have my data always safe. This is an NVMe SSD. This is fast. 2 terabytes of fast storage. And, I love this. There's no fan in it, but it is passively cooled. See that pretty gold? That's not just good looking. That's the heat sink. And I'll tell you, this drive never gets hot, even if I'm copying a ton of data for it. Now, how do you unlock it, you might ask? Well, that's another reason I love this. I don't have to modify my operating system in any way. The drive has Bluetooth, a special Bluetooth stack written for Armor Lock, so that there are no securities, and you unlock it with the Armor Lock app on your phone or on your Mac. So it's iPhone or Mac. Actually, in order to do this, I'm going to have to give it some power. So let me plug it into something here. Let's see. Just plug it in, the USB-C port, into in this case, in my phone. And now I'm going to load the, you see it shows the locked logo. The Armor Lock app is connecting to it. Now, because it's my phone and I logged in using biometrics, I can now unlock it with just the tap. See that? Face ID. And now this hard drive will go from locked to unlocked. And I should be very clear about this. The app to unlock it is Mac and iOS only for now, Android and Windows coming. But once you unlock it with your iPhone, it's a standard SSD you can plug into any computer, Windows, as you saw. I can even plug it into my Samsung device or an iPad, for instance, and use it. So it's a standard SSD. You can format it any way you want. I formatted this exFAT so it would be compatible with everything. But it's fully encrypted with open source, high-grade 256-bit AES XTS hardware encryption so that you never have to worry about your data. And when you're done with the drive, just eject it and lock it, and no bad guy is going to be able to get to this data. It's completely secure. Right now, it's Mac and iOS only. They are working on Windows and Android versions. But if you've got a Mac, this is the absolute best way to take control of your privacy, keep your private data private. I keep on here the stuff that I would normally put in an encrypted file somewhere, I don't know, somewhere safe, I guess another drive, but I'd have to manually decrypt it. I've got my entire documents folder on here. I've got all my photos on here. I've got my special files like passports, driver's license, LastPass. I've got, what else is on here? Everything, basically, my life, all the private stuff, and it's locked. I don't have to worry about it. I can carry it around. If I drop it or I lose it, it's inaccessible to anybody, completely encrypted. Because it's using biometric authentication, it couldn't be easier. It's so easy you saw how easily I unlocked it. You just plug it into your computer, or in this case, into my phone. But once I've unlocked this, you see I have it plugged into actually a Samsung phone, and I can access it from the Samsung phone once I unlock it, completely decrypted. You no longer have to compromise speed for security either, because this is really nice. Super fast, USB 3.2, 10 gigabit per second. It's an NVMe SSD. It couldn't be faster. If you're sharing files, or if, like me, you just want to keep your most important data with you and secure, or move it around from computer to computer, or you're getting Big Sur, right? That's what I'm using this for. I'm putting all my data on here, and now I can install Big Sur, and I don't ever have to worry about, I don't have to specially erase this or anything. It is completely secure. They just won the Consumer Innovation Award at the Flash Memory Summit. I have tried a lot of so-called secure drives. This is the easiest, the best. I love it. The last thing you need is leaked films or lost or stolen drives. Take control of your data privacy. G Technology, I know you know the name. Their Armor Lock NVMe SSD is amazing. You want to know more? Go to getarmorlock.com. Get yours today. Getarmorlock.com. I just think this is so cool. I keep all my SSH keys on here, my PGP keys, all the stuff that I want to keep super private. I keep it on here. And with 2 terabytes, there's plenty of room. Armor Lock, getarmorlock.com. They're not getting this back from me, though. I can tell you that right now. GetArmorLock.com. Look at that. And lock. I'll lock it now. It's so easy. Boom. It's locked. Take it off. Nobody gonna get into this sucker. If only I'd put my Bitcoin wallet on here. Actually, it is on here. My wallet's on here. It's the password I don't have. This is a really nice solution. Oh, I didn't even mention it's IP67, so it's water and dust resistant. I wouldn't go scuba diving with it, but if it gets wet, it gets in the rain or whatever, you don't have to worry about it. This thing is super robust. Never gets hot. It's shock-proof. Of course, it's G Technology. They make great stuff. Armor Lock. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, by popular demand. What is hip? He's back, ladies and gentlemen. Scott Wilkinson, he of the Fabulous Laugh, our home theater geek and contributor to TechHive.com. Hey, Scott.
Hey, Leo. How's it going?
It's going great.
Good deal.
I'm glad you're on because I got a question which I answered on our little podcast, Ask the Tech Guy, about TVs. Guy was looking at an LED. He wanted a big TV, an LED, and I don't remember if they were fold or not, between LG and Samsung. And I said, they're probably both excellent. One, the prices were very close. I think they were at the big box store. He said, I wanted to ask Scott, so I'm going to ask you. I think you've got an interesting alternative.
Well, I do. I was going to talk about some more Black November deals.
Yeah, all November.
All November. It's Black Friday now. And my friend Mike Mann in the chat room, sent me a text and said, did you see this at Best Buy? A 70-inch 4K full array local dimming TV.
You want all of those things.
You want all of those things.
I'm sure it's got HDR. It's 4K.
Oh, yeah, HDR. Yeah. HDR10 and Dolby Vision from a company called Hisense, which we've talked about before. You have a Hisense. I
have a Hisense. I know all about Hisense.
Yeah, exactly.
They're one of these up-and-coming Chinese companies.
Oh, it's a huge Chinese company. Gigantic, and they're trying to make inroads into the U.S. now, but in much of the rest of the world, it's a really big name. So here's a 70-inch 4K HDR, $400.
Oh, okay. So this guy Bill in Scottsdale, he was looking at 65 inches, the LG UN7300 and the Samsung TU700D. These are both Costco, so that means they're probably model numbers that are unique to Costco.
They're model numbers, yeah, exactly.
They don't like it if you compare.
Right, and I will tell you, both of those sets are edge lit.
So they're not fold, they're edge lit.
They are not fold, they're edge lit.
And the LG was 500, 65 inch. The Samsung was 480, 65 inch. So here is a fold, which is, I did talk about full array local dimming. Right. This is where there's LEDs on behind the whole screen instead of just around the edges.
Correct.
Yeah.
And when you have a scene with a bright object and some dark object, or maybe the moon against a dark sky, night sky, the LEDs behind the moon will brighten up, and the LEDs behind the black sky will dim down.
That gives you a broader dynamic range, a broader difference between the brightest brights and the darkest darks. And that's what you want. That's HDR, right?
Yep, exactly. And fold backlights do that far better than edge lighting, which the less expensive TVs have. And yet here we have a Hisense, which is a 70-inch, larger than he was looking at, with fold for $400. Now that's down from $650,
which then is a very, very good price.
Even then is a really good deal.
Yeah.
Right.
So what do I give up? I mean, I know I said Samsung and LG both are going to have excellent displays, right? They're both very good.
They're very good TV makers, no question about it.
But so what would I give up with a Hisense? Is the display not going to be as good?
No, I don't think so.
Okay.
I really don't. I'm not sure what you give up other than
brand name.
Brand name really is all you're giving up. Now, I must admit I don't know their customer service compared to LG and Samsung, which I think are probably pretty good. How much of a customer service presence they have in the U.S. or not. I honestly don't know. Because it's such a big company in Japan, and they want to be coming into the U.S., I'm pretty sure they have spent some money on making sure that their customers are supported in the U.S. So I think you're giving up a brand name is really all you're doing.
Yeah.
And
there was a story this week about TCL, the other Chinese,
the
aggressive
other big
Chinese company.
Yep.
And there is a security flaw with non-Roku TCL TVs.
Oh, no kidding!
Yeah.
Really, I hadn't seen that.
Yeah, both of the ones I gave my mom were Roku because I wanted her to have a Roku. So
yeah.
But the ones without Roku's apparently. This is going to get a little geeky, but you can access the entire file system of the TCL Smart TV over a Wi-Fi connection using an undocumented and unprotected port. You can even overwrite files without a new username, without a password, any kind of authorization. It's kind of a major security flaw. Could have been
a serious problem.
Left in for spying, but much more likely it was a diagnostic port. This happens all the time. That was left open and not patched, not closed when they shipped them.
Right.
So if you have an older TCL, one without Roku, you might want to disconnect it from the internet and just use your external Roku. And that'll be a perfectly fine TV.
Absolutely.
Anytime you're worried about TV security flaws, they're meaningless if you unplug them from the internet or you don't put them on Wi-Fi.
Right. I've said this many times. This almost all TVs are quote unquote smart, which means basically they have Netflix and YouTube and all these streaming apps, which I don't even use on the TV I have. I use an external Roku or an Apple TV Plus. And those are not expensive. They're $100 or less. Sometimes a lot less.
Yeah.
And you use those instead because those can be updated much easier. I mean, you can update in TVs as well, but I think your point is very well taken. There's no reason really to connect the TV up to the internet if you have one of these external boxes. Now you might say, okay, well, why don't I just get a TV without those apps? Well, you can't.
Yeah, I know. I wish you could.
Almost doesn't exist.
It's what I would call a monitor. I just want the screen, and I'll provide all the smarts externally because, for one thing, it's more secure. Roku and Apple TV and others get updated much more regularly. So do the apps. They're usually better apps than that. I think people don't understand that it's just like a phone. When you're watching Netflix on a TV, that's the Netflix app for that TV. That's different from the Netflix app for Roku or Apple TV, and it may not be as good.
That's right. May very well not be. And it won't get updated as often.
Probably not, yeah.
Which is also true.
Right.
The last time I knew of an actual monitor was the Pioneer Kuro. Remember that?
Still have one down the hall. We love it.
Yep.
Love it.
It was a plasma TV, which is, ancient history now. But they made a model that didn't have any tuner in it. In those days, smart TVs weren't a big thing, but it had no monitor, no tuner in it, no speakers. That's another thing. A monitor is different from a TV.
Only.
It doesn't have any speakers.
Yeah, you're going to add your own. You're going to add your own speakers, I would hope.
I would hope so too.
Although,
at least a sound bar.
I just gave my brother and sister-in-law a sound bar because they were listening to the speakers on their Sharp TV.
Ugh.
And then Joe complained because Debbie kept listening to Taylor Swift on it. So for him, it wasn't an improvement, apparently. But yeah, I gave him a Sonos play bass, which is a sound bar that sits under the TV.
Really nice sound bar,
and a Sonos sub. It sounds great.
Yeah.
I was thinking, I had old speakers because, I upgraded my speakers. I was giving them the old speakers. But then I said, but you're going to have to buy an amp and you're going to have to put speaker wire all over that.
Right. That becomes a little bit more of a thing.
Much easier. Yeah. Plus, you can listen to Taylor Swift on it.
I definitely recommend anybody who buys a TV get a sound bar as well because the speakers in the TV are invariably horrible.
Terrible. They're really just there so that if you turn it on, you hear sound.
You hear something.
And you don't call them and say, where's the sound?
Well, yeah, right.
But they don't expect you to use them in most cases.
Right. Exactly.
So tell me the model number again and where we can get this Hisense.
Okay, Best Buy. It's the 70H6570G.
What a price. $400.
$400.
You know what?
70-inch TV.
Get one for the bathroom. For the closet. Get one for every room in your house. That's Scott Wilkinson, Home Theater Geek, TechHive.com. Get one for everywhere. All righty, Scotty. Let me get your
Let me ask you a question. Actually,
Yes, sir.
You were talking about MacBooks and the new M1s coming out. My wife's MacBook died, and we need to get her a new one sooner than later. And I'm a little concerned about. Well, she's a speech pathologist. She does a lot of online now, a lot of telehealth with clients and patients.
Okay, be fine for that.
Oh yeah. She does. Once we get back to conferences, she'll go back and do presentations.
Be fine for that. I mean, I'm going to get mine. Will come a week from Friday, so. Sorry, a week from Tuesday. So if you can hold off, all the reviews will come out this Wednesday. So I think they're going to be great. I'm very excited. The only issue.
Not concerned about the limited number of ports?
No, I mean.
You could get one of these.
You get a
port
dongle
extenders.
Yeah. Yeah, Apple people are pretty much used to that.
I guess that's true. I was keen on the last generation of Intels, which had 4 ports on them.
Yeah.
For example, my laptop, I could probably use. I've got a fairly old one here, MacBook, and I use 3 out of the 4 ports just to do what I'm doing here.
Yeah. But like the MacBook Air,
audio interface.
MacBook Air only has 2 ports. The Intel version. But the
Pro has 4.
Apple's always assumed you were going to add some dongles and stuff, right?
Yeah. Do you think it's not a problem? For example, as I say, I have here a camera, an audio interface, and a hardwire Ethernet to my router, so I'm not on Wi-Fi.
You'd probably just get a lot of companies make these. One cable comes out for the laptop and has all of those plugged in the back, including power.
Yeah.
She disconnects the laptop, carries it around. When she sits down on the desk, she plugs that in, and everything's connected.
Right.
That's by far the way to. It's a dock, basically. It's the best way to do it.
Basically.
Yeah. You don't want to have to sit down and plug in 4 things anyway.
Well, that's true. My laptop at this point just basically sits here, and all those things are plugged in. But you don't think there's any latency issues or
the camera on all the Mac laptops is terrible, including the new ones. So she's going to want an external camera. Although,
we both use external cameras.
Yeah, although Apple is touting the fact that this M1 chip has digital signal processing, an image processor built into the chip. So they're saying it's going to be a really nice camera. We'll see. It's still 720p. If it's urgent. That's different. If she can wait a week, I would.
She can wait a week. Yeah. She can easily wait a week.
It's Wednesday, all the reviews will come out, and you'll hear the pros and cons. You'll see speed tests and all that. I think it's going to be much, much better.
I just looked it up. It is less expensive
It's
now
less
than
expensive.
the Intel.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah. And it's, I think, much faster. But if she uses oddball software for her work, it may not work with it. So that's
the other question. I'll have to see what
she uses. Yeah. Because that would be the only issue.
Right.
Can you stay for the top of the hour? Because we just used up all your time.
Yeah. No, I use it up myself for what I want. Sure, no problem at all. I
got the MacBook Pro 13 loaded because I can't wait, to play with this chip. But that's my job. I mean, if I could only buy one laptop this year, I probably would at least wait to the reviews, if not even a couple of weeks after that, just to see what the showstoppers are. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo. Let's go to Santa Rosa Valley, California. Scott's on the line. Hello, Scott.
Hi, Leo. Long-term listener. Listened to you from about 20 years. First-time call.
20 years. Wow.
Yeah.
Thank you. I appreciate that.
So much.
That's a long time. Thank you.
Learned so much.
Well, what can I do for you this time?
Well, I'm looking for a teleprompter, sort of like what the politicians use.
Like the politicians use. Okay. Yeah. What do you need a teleprompter for?
Well, I do some public speaking and teaching, and I used to do it in person. I'd have my notes on a lectern, and it wasn't a problem to look down.
Oh.
Of course, I have to do it on Zoom, And
oh yeah, you don't want to be looking down. You want to look straight at the camera, don't you? Do you by any chance have an iPad?
I do.
Oh, you're in luck. Because otherwise you're going to have to buy something a little more expensive. Go to prompterpeople.com, and they have a whole bunch of, we use these. Right, John? I think this is what we use. They have a whole bunch of iPad-specific teleprompters. So the way the politicians do it, you see these kind of, what is that, pane of glass? Usually there's two of them tilted forward to their left and right. Those are the teleprompters. You can see through them because, as you know, a pane of glass turns into a mirror at the right angle. So what they're aimed at is a TV screen in reverse, because it's a mirror that's pointing up. The glass is angled off of that. So somebody looking into those tilted, smoky panes of glass will see text rolling up. Somebody's got to run it. You know, there's a knob, and somebody's got to run it. So there's two things you need. You need a smoky pane of glass or a mirror, something you can see through. And that the reason they often use these panes of glass is because the camera sees right through it, but you see the text on the glass. You also need something that can display text in reverse, because again, it's a mirror, and that'll allow you to control the scroll speed either manually or automatically. And that's why I like these iPad prompters, because it does everything except the smoky pane of glass. But this prompter people sell all of them. In fact, the one you know that looks just like the one you see when politicians are giving their speech is called the iPad Stage Pro. The Stage Pro are those panes of glass, and there's an iPad below it. And then you have two choices. You can control it with your phone or a knob or some external device, or you can set it. A lot of times when you see local news anchors, people like that, they're doing their own prompter with a foot pedal because TV stations are cheap. Used to be we'd have the prompter person. In fact, the old days, and I'm old enough to remember the old days, they would print the prompter copy out on a big, long roll of paper, and the prompter person would be turning a handle, scrolling it underneath a camera so that it could then go to the screen so they could fire up into the prompter. So there'd be somebody, and that way they could actually mark the piece of paper too, and you'd see the, you know, the annotations and so forth. Those days are long gone. Prompterpeople.com. They have a big selection. We use the kind that can be attached to a camera tripod, and it's actually pretty cool because the iPad's on the camera tripod, and so is the smoky pane of glass. And the camera sees, it's not smoky, it's just a pane of glass. The camera sees through it. Usually there's a bellows around the glass because you don't want any light leaking in between the camera lens and the angled pane of glass. So there's a little bellows that goes around it. It's not complicated. We'll work with any iPad. They sell the brackets, the panes of glass, and the software as well.
So I'd be using two devices. I do the speaking on a MacBook right now with the camera, and I'd have this.
Yeah, you wouldn't want to use the camera on the MacBook because your smoky pane of glass. Oh, well, okay. Oh, okay. This is a lot simpler. You threw me because when you said you want to do it like the politicians do, I was thinking something different. If you're looking at the screen and you want to see your text on the screen below the camera, is that all you care about?
Yeah, so what I was thinking about was like a large monitor with Zoom on the left and the teleprompter thing on the right, or perhaps dual monitors, Zoom on the left,
Yeah. Yeah, if you had what I would do is get a second monitor for your laptop. And those are, you can get USB monitors. Is it Mac or PC?
PC right
PC.
now.
So there's a lot of prompter people also sell just software that you can put on your computer to do all of this. This is going to be much easier. I made it way complicated. I was trying to get you. I was going to put you at a podium with a couple of panes of glass, a Secret Service in the front. No, you don't need all that. So you just need an external monitor. You can either get one for your laptop. They have USB, or they have, you can put the HDMI port. That can have the Zoom on it. The monitor on the laptop where the camera is where you want to put the text, because you don't want to be looking, as you already are, you don't want to be looking too far off camera. But you can be looking a little off camera to read the text. And then you just need something that scrolls it. There's actually quite a few teleprompter programs, some of them even free for Windows. This is a fairly easy thing to do. You could even put it on a phone. You can. There's quite a few programs to do this with. This is an easy thing to do, and you don't need the fancy stuff that's going to do it backwards because you're not reflecting it. You're reading it directly.
So, would you recommend doing it on a PC, or would it
doesn't matter? I recommend doing it on what you've already got. Right?
Okay.
When you do it now, are your lecture notes on the screen?
No, I have just a piece of paper, and
well, that'd be the first step: is put them on the screen, because then at least you're kind of looking at the camera and the screen and looking down. People are used to that for sure on Zoom.
That's a great idea.
Yeah, that'd be the first thing. Then you don't have to look down at a piece of paper. When you're watching local news, they always have a piece of paper. When I did a lot of TV, as I did for many years, I always had the content of the prompter on a piece of paper in case the prompter fails. Nothing worse. I can ad-lib, but there's plenty of talent that when the prompter would fail, they'd just go. In fact, there's a very famous thing that happened at CES some years ago. Or was it a Samsung event? I think it was a Samsung event where they had Michael Bay on, and the prompter failed, and Michael Bay just walked off. He said, "I can't do it. I don't know what to say." So they give you a stack of the papers. You see the news anchors stacking them at the end of the show, right? That's the script they're reading off the prompter in case the prompter fails. It's also useful for the world-famous news anchor head turn. When you're going from camera 1 to camera 2, you can't just turn your head. You got to look down at the paper and then look back up. It's the old bounce. That's all that's for, to pretend you're reading paper. So there are quite a few. If you go to telepromptermirror.com, there are quite a few programs for Windows you can take a look at. Some of them even free. Prompt, ! But even just putting your notes on the screen probably be enough, and using the mouse to scroll up. You don't need anything as fancy as I just described. I made it really complicated. I apologize.
No, I apologize for misleading you about the policy.
Oh, you wanted to look like the president. What am I? I'm trying to help you here.
Well, I was actually thinking of running, but I'm very happy to be incoming president. So maybe I'll wait till 2028.
Good. Yeah. You got a couple of years. We found it. Jennifer, my ex-wife, called me and said, "There's a podium on the street outside the Herman Sons Hall. Do you want it?" I said, "Yes." My son got it, brought it here. I have a podium. So if you want to borrow it, it's very nice, solid oak, and then I put a little seal on it. It's the TWiT seal, not the presidential seal. And then you just the prompter. It's very easy. Hey, what do you teach?
I teach. I'm a mediator, and
interesting.
What I do is I teach law students various topics such as divorce law, eviction law.
Now you can teach them how to use a teleprompter. Hey, I have to run. It's great to talk to you, Scott. Thank you. Sorry, Scott. I had to cut you off. I ran out of time. Network timing is very precise. They'll just cut me off if I don't stop talking.
No, totally understand. You told me what I needed to know.
Good. There are lots of ways to do this. There's 2 websites you can look at that would give you the hardware if you decide you want fancy hardware. But honestly, you can get an inexpensive USB. It just connects to USB ports, so it's very simple. Screen, so you can see the Zoom. You want to read the Zoom chat? Is that the main reason you look at the Zoom?
What I do is I actually do the teaching on Zoom, and then again, I have the notes in my hand.
Yeah.
But I don't want to look down. So
I've seen setups. So I've seen professors with setups where they actually made makeshift podiums. So they had a lectern. It's hysterical. Keep it simple. Yeah, just get an external monitor. Then you can see people on the Zoom. Use your monitor, your laptop monitor, for your notes. that way you're looking sort of where this camera is. I don't think that's going to be a big deal. The reason that we use teleprompters is so we can look directly into the camera while we're reading, to pretend we're not reading, right? You don't need that. They know you're looking at your notes. In fact, in a way it's good, because I think one of the problems with Zoom is this constant eye contact. It's good to look down and look back up. You don't always want to be staring at them. And you'll be looking a little off camera when you look at people's faces too. I think that's fine too. When I do a Zoom, I do it on 3 monitors, and I have the left monitor has the speaker in full screen, so they're as big as I am, and then the center monitor has the Zoom controls, and that works really nicely.
Now, you were saying about the TV casters using a foot switch?
Yeah. You won't need that. You could use your mouse scroll wheel. The reason they use a foot switch is they want, again, in TV, it's all to pretend they're not reading. Right? So otherwise you could have a knob. There's knobs that people use that go faster and slower. When you have a prompter operator these days, they're doing it on a computer and they have a knob, and the knob is faster and slower instead of on and off. The foot switch can only be on and off. I guess you could have a foot switch that you push a little harder to go faster and stuff like that. But the knob, what our prompter operators always had knobs, and they turn a knob. I hate prompters, by the way. I am an anti-prompter guy. Yeah, I think the scroll wheel and the mouse is all you need. Sorry, Scott, all yours.
Hey, no problem. Actually, I do have a prompter here. In fact, I'm looking at you right now through one.
What? Scott's using a prompter?
I'm not prompting anything.
So what do you
remember when I had my podcast?
Yeah, you needed a prompter. That's right.
I needed a prompter to read ads
for the copy. So what did we send you a Prompter People prompter?
No, I actually bought it.
Did you get it from Prompter People?
No, I forget where I got it.
Okay.
It came with software and a separate little remote for the iPad. But that software and the iPad, I mean, that's now long gone, and I'm actually interested, and so is Joanna. When she gives presentations, she wants to be looking straight at the camera as well, and has been asking me about my prompter, and I said, well, it doesn't really work as a prompter anymore. So I'm looking now at Teleprompter. What is it?
Prompterpeople.com.
And prompterpeople.com.
Yeah, and then telepromptermirror.com is software only. Yeah, they have a variety of software.
I don't need the hardware other than a remote, or if it'll work on the iPad with a mouse.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which it should. I don't see why not.
The only trick is, the way it works is it reverses the text. So that's why you
which
use
is what I need.
a dedicated
I don't have
iPad.
That capability
Yeah. So that'll be dedicated.
So all I need is some software for the iPad and the ability to control its scroll.
Right.
And Joanna too, and we'd be good. They call
the tilted smoky glass the presidential prompter.
I have a tilted half mirror.
Yeah, and it's on the camera, so I don't see it. Because
the camera's right behind it, actually.
Right. Yeah, it's shining. It's going right through it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But if I'm looking at the computer, I'm looking down here.
Yeah. I know. Yeah. I know.
So that's the way. That's why I did it. Because I wanted to use a better camera than was in the laptop.
Right. So you're using a good camera and all that stuff.
Yeah. It's a Logitech C920.
Very nice. Yeah.
1080p. Very nice. And so when I needed to read copy, then I got this thing. And now Joanna's needing to read, not copy exactly, but her outline for a presentation. And it's nicer to have it right in front of you rather than having to go back and forth. So I didn't know about Teleprompter Mirror or Prompter People for that matter, but I'm going to definitely take a look at both of those and find some software that works. Meanwhile, hey, everybody. Somebody in the chat room said that they went to Best Buy and that Hisense is labeled as unavailable. I'm really sorry if it disappeared before I had the chance to talk about it on the show. Hopefully it'll come back. Webster is responding to Scooter X that HDR looks like better, all right, as I said, and that is true. It looks way better. Way better. And a number of people in the chat room have said, using a USB dongle or a multi-port dongle works fine. So good. I'm happy about that. Let's see here. Hey, Loquacious. Always good to see you. Hope you're doing well. Weather here is very nice, actually. Lovely. I hope it is where you are as well. I think it is up in Petaluma also.
Mm-hmm. Sun is shining bright.
Sun is shining bright, but it's not too hot.
No, it's freezing. It's like 60 degrees. It's horrible.
Yeah, we had to turn our heater on for sure. And, of course, people back east are going, don't give me that.
I know. You mean the boiler? You had to turn the boiler? So we had a weird thing. We turned the heater on, nothing.
Really?
We'd had AC put in, and I thought, oh, well, they forgot to turn it on already. So they came back out, and the guy said, come here. Come here, look at this. There was a bottle cap somehow fell into the fan that exhausts the volatile, the poison chemicals out, froze it up. Thank goodness the furnace just stopped working so it didn't poison us or catch on fire.
Yeah.
But the thing is sealed on the furnace. I said, well, how did the bottle cap get in there? The only thing I could figure is that somebody was on your roof and dropped it in the flue.
Oh, no.
So when I looked at the flue, you'd have to work real hard to get it in the flue. But we're going to cover it with a warranty anyway. I think somehow they were having lunch while they were doing the AC, and they accidentally dropped a bottle cap.
Accidentally went in there and really sort of threaded around and got the bottle cap in there.
It's like, how did the bottle cap get? It's sealed. There's no way it could have gotten in there from here. It had to come in through the flue. No, and nobody was on that side of the roof. In fact, I even looked where the flue is. You wouldn't sit there. There's solar panels all around, and I don't know wow that. I don't know. Hey, I got to run. Scott, have a great week.
Oh, there we go. Thanks. You
At
too.
a time. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smart cameras, teleprompters. Anything with it. I don't think a teleprompter, I guess it would have a chip in it. The computer would, right? Anything with a chip in it. 8888. Ask Leo. That's the phone number. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Hour number 2 of the Tech Guy Show continues on with Marilyn in Riverside, California. Hello, Marilyn.
Hello.
Welcome to the show. What can I do for you?
I've been listening to you for years.
Oh, another long-time listener.
Yeah.
Thank you. I'm so grateful. I really am.
Yeah.
Got my kids through college. So thank you for doing that. I appreciate it.
That's good. I have a problem with my television.
Uh-oh.
5 years old, 50-inch, and it all of a sudden does not work anymore.
Well, that's not good.
Sound went out first, and now it won't even come on.
Ay.
So I was wondering if it would be worth my while to have it fixed or just get a new one since they're not really that expensive anymore.
Yeah. Is it, what kind of TV is it? Is it an LCD?
Yes.
It's a flat panel?
Yes.
You remember the days, maybe you're not old enough, but I do, when there was every main street in every town in the country had some guy. You'd bring, right? You bring in the TV. There'd be tubes in the window and old TV cabinets and stuff. TV repairman.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, no, those guys are gone.
They can't replace tubes anymore.
They can't. Yeah, there's nothing to replace. The fact, these are computers now, kind of like your computer monitor. It might be an easy fix. I'm not saying it's not. It's kind of the fact that the sound went out first. It sounds like there might be something obviously easy to fix in there, like a bad power supply. But
okay.
So you could call, but the guy's going to charge you $150 to come out. Then you're going to need parts. You're going to get up to $300 or $400 pretty quick.
So that's a new television.
And that's a brand new TV. Nowadays.
Yeah, because YouTube,
we almost think of TVs as disposable these days, to be honest, right? They're
right.
not serviceable. They're like every other computer, like your phone, like your laptop. You fix it, you just get a new one, which is frankly shameful because they're all ending up in landfills and stuff. But that's not our fault. That's how they design it. So, how big is your TV?
Think about it, but it looks like, according to YouTube, I'm going to have to take the panel off in the back, and already I'm lost.
Yeah, you don't want to do that. Yeah, it's not as bad as the old days where if you opened up a TV with a big tube, you could shock yourself, throw yourself across the room because those tubes would hold a charge even when the TV is unplugged. There are things that could shock you in a modern TV, but they're pretty well shielded. I would say it's not going to be user serviceable unless Marilyn, sometimes people do this because they just enjoy that kind of thing. So you'd have to, do you have a voltmeter?
No.
To hand?
And solder and all that. I don't
Yeah. The first thing I would do is open it up, maybe check the power supply, see if it's delivering the proper amount of power, see if it's all right. And it might be inexpensive to replace, but that's a lot of work. You don't want to do that.
No, I don't.
Yeah. Good news. You heard Scott. He just mentioned that Hisense TV for 70 inches, which is huge. I'm sure it's bigger than your existing TV for $400.
Yeah.
So the cost of getting that repaired by a third party, or even of your time and effort and going on eBay and finding the part, et cetera, probably it'd be worth just going out and getting an expensive one. Go to one of the big box stores. How old? You said 7 years?
It's 5 years old.
Oh, see, he's not that old. So, TVs won't have gotten much better in 5 years, but they'll be 4K. They'll be high dynamic range. The colors will be brighter. I think you probably get a better TV, and it'll be less than repairing the old one.
Well, okay.
I'm sorry.
I'll take it off the wall.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. Yeah, now you got to get somebody to take it off the wall, and it shouldn't have failed, honestly, at 5 years.
That's what I was thinking. Maybe I should call them.
Who's the manufacturer?
RCA.
Wonder who makes RCA TVs these days. I think it's it ain't the Radio Corporation of America.
I'm 65, so I came from that time.
Yeah, well, me too. I'm your age. I remember all that, The Nipper, the dog with his ear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, right.
His master's voice. Yeah. I think RCA is now the Walmart house brand. Did you get it at Walmart?
Yes, I did.
Yeah, so it's not RCA, obviously. It's a Chinese company that pays a fee for the use of that term. And Walmart brands it and they sell it. It's their house TV. You could do better probably. I would look at a Samsung, an LG, a TCL, a Hisense. You heard Scott just talking about that 70-inch Hisense. And now you're going to say, well, I don't want a big TV, but get a bigger one than you think.
I really want a 70-inch now. You
do? Good. Sometimes I have to fight people, and they say, no, I only need 32 inches. It's not like the old days. You want big. And you hang it on the wall?
Yes.
You don't put it over the fireplace, do you?
No, it's not.
Okay, because that could be one of the reasons the heat from a fireplace would not be good for one of those things.
Well, could it be that I run it just about 24 hours a day?
No, they shouldn't wear out. You didn't wear it out.
Okay.
Something failed inside, and you know what? Sad to say, it probably is something inexpensive to fix. You could call Walmart. The good news about Walmart is they might stand behind it. And so they might give you, it's not warranted anymore, but they might give you an inexpensive repair because, Walmart's a big company that wants to keep you feeling good. They don't want you going to Best Buy.
Right.
Right? So I would call them. I'd say, hey, I bought this 5 years ago. I don't get sound and picture anymore. And see, they might say, well, it'll be $50 and then, $150 to repair it or whatever. But it might be worth a call to Walmart, given that that's where you got it. That might be worth a call.
Okay.
All right. Otherwise, go to that big box store or Walmart, and you'll see lots of really nice TVs don't get RCA or Westinghouse. Those are all fake. If you see a picture of a dog with his ear crooked up on it, no. That's not the same. There's a company called RCA Trademark Management, SA. that licenses the trademark to various companies.
Interesting.
The televisions are made, actually, you know what? Made by Curtis, which used to be a good brand name. They're a Canadian company. Used to be ONN or ON. That's who licensed. That's who makes it. But I'm sure they're made in China. I think Walmart should stand behind it since it's a Walmart house brand. Get Walmart to fix it.
Good.
All right.
That.
It's so nice to talk to you, Marilyn.
All right.
Get that 70-inch. You'll be so happy.
That's right.
Yeah.
I am.
Yeah, you deserve it. Yeah.
Yes.
Take care. Take care, Marilyn. Yes, I deserve it. I'm good enough. I deserve a 70-inch Samsung 70-inch, $529.99 right now. Mike B's telling me. Prices are... Okay, ON is a South Korean electronics manufacturing conglomerate that sells RCA TVs through major retailers. This is from the chat room, including Walmart, Kmart, Sears, Best Buy, and Amazon. RCA telephones sold by Telefield North America. RCA audio and video manufactured by Vox, VOXX. RCA car stereo, I don't know, somebody, RCA mobile. RCA appliances made by Curtis in Canada. RCA computers by American Future Technology Corporation. Unless you get the tablets, they're made by Alco Electronics. RCA projectors manufactured by Telefield. The RCA digital TV box is marketed by Filipino company Search Commercial. Two-way radios produced by Discount Two-Way Radio. See, you don't want to sell. You go into a store, you don't want to have Discount Two-Way Radio on the front of your TV or your radio, so you put RCA. People go, oh, yeah, I remember RCA. That's a good company. No, it's not the same. Well, I mean, yeah, but it's not the same company. Let's put it that way. Remember Packard Bell computers? They licensed like this old TV brand, and they made Leo Laporte, the tech guy. More of your calls coming up right after this. Our show today brought to you by LastPass. I just did a LastPass commercial. It's my favorite. I've been using it for a dozen years. We've been using LastPass Enterprise now for how long is it? About 6 years? It is a lifesaver. You need LastPass if you're in business. And the idea of having it in Enterprise is so important because it gives you complete oversight. In Enterprise, you want to know who's using what, when, and LastPass tells you that. You get complete oversight. We love it because we can also set administrative policies like minimum master password length. We require two-factor of all of our employees. Another great reason to use LastPass for your enterprise. On the G2 Fall Grid reports, a leading peer-to-peer review site, unbiased user reviews, LastPass got 93% 4 or 5 stars from its users. People love LastPass. Our employees love it. And that's pretty important for security, too, because if they love it, they use it, right? You heard me just describe how to use it. But if Virginia hated it and didn't use it, it wouldn't do any good. So in a business, it's really important that it make life easier for your employees. LastPass does single sign-on. They have multi-factor authentication that uses IP addresses so that it's more transparent for your employees. You can even see how well your employees are doing with security. You can view their password scores, see what shared accounts they're using, monitor group memberships. You have total control. And it's easy for employees to share passwords with one another. You want them to do that sometimes. You just don't want to do it over email or text messaging. LastPass can support that too. Over 100 policies and advanced security features for enterprise. 8 awards so far this year for LastPass. They're growing like crazy. PC Magazine's Editor's Choice. They just won the Fortress Cybersecurity Award. Business Insider's Best Overall Password Manager. That's just a few. Let the award-winning LastPass help you take back control of your password security. LastPass.com/twit. I love them. You can tell, right? LastPass.com/twit. Thank you, LastPass, for all your support this year. We really appreciate it. And thank you for using it. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Little Tainted Love. You know, when that came out, when did that come out, Professor Laura? That's Pretty old now. You weren't even born, I know. Did we think that stupid dinky Casio tone synthesizer riff at the beginning was like state of the art, or did we even know then it was cheesy? You know, the toot toot. We must have. I don't remember. You weren't around. Deet, deet. Mary in Van Nuys, California's next. Hi, Mary. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, I knew you'd do that when I had a mouthful of potato chips.
Of course, I was waiting. I watched, and then as soon as you put them in your mouth, I said, now we're going to go to Mary.
You did that tip about camera change, and I thought I was feeling a little pretentious, pretending that I was at a round table with a bunch of people doing the same thing when they talked to me, looking down at my pretend paperwork.
Looking up.
Head turn.
The bounce. the anchor, news anchor bounce. Yep.
Yeah. By the way, from the very beginning, if Maria listens to the show, you owe her an apology about that rumba thing. I don't need a rumba. I got Maria.
Thank you, Maria. No,
Thank you, Maria.
Thank you, Maria. No, Maria does so much of a better job than the Roomba. I guess there's a brand new Roomba. This wasn't on the air. We were talking off the air, but you heard it all because you were on hold. Yeah. But everybody's talking about the brand new Roomba. That's that robot vacuum you see all the time on Instagram with the cat riding it around, right? People put their animals on the Roomba. That's the only thing they're good for. I've had Roombas. I showed off the first Roomba on Live with, I'll tell you how long ago this was, on Live with Regis and Kelly, like 15 years ago. We built a little box, because I didn't want it to go off into the audience, put dirt in it, put the Roomba in it, and it vacuumed it all up. Oh, Regis was so, wow, Leo, wow, it's a robot. But I had Roombas in the house, and I was unhappy with the results because I would set them to start when we're all in bed, which means at 2 a.m. they play a little da-da-da-da-da when they're about to begin, which is annoying enough. And you hear, and then invariably get stuck under furniture and go boom, 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 boom. And I'd have to get up in the middle of the night, go get the Roomba. Okay, little fella, it's okay. I wasn't going to put it down and let it keep vacuuming, so I'd put it back on the base station. And so I don't want a Roomba. Do you have a Roomba?
You need a big cat.
To put on the Roomba?
No, to smack the Roomba.
Okay. It is fun to put pets on the Roomba. Our cats would not stay on the Roomba. They would not. But I see cats all the time riding Roombas.
There's nothing happier than a cat who has a job.
That's true. I wish I could give my cat a job. It thinks its job is to lie in front of the fire and wait for me to feed it. Well,
now that we've done
do
this,
for you?
I
Yes,
am
Mary.
so not embarrassed anymore about why I'm calling you.
You should never be embarrassed to call me. Never.
Yeah, we're sliding over to the other side of the bell curve. This is remedial at best. The kind of story where they stand around the water cooler. Oh, my God, did you hear Leo Laporte talking to that woman?
Are you going to be that call?
Yes, it was the
years from now, it'll be on YouTube. Oh, yeah, remember that, Mary? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, here's the thing. Now, I have someone that it's hard to get hold of, but he does a wonderful job of tuning up my laptop.
Yeah.
I try not to do anything because...
Everybody needs that person, by the way.
He is just absolutely the best.
Yeah.
But it's problematic while I'm waiting. I have Yahoo. And what Francis did was he went in and he put in an ad blocker. That was a few years ago. And I thought, wow, when I noticed it. 2 years later, Yahoo is putting in, and it's getting bigger and bigger and bigger. It put
Turn off your ad blocker.
Yes, with no X. So I've had to reload.
And then it pops up again. Turn off your ad blocker.
I went into the computer and there were instructions, but I don't want to do it. One says to do this, and then for Windows. And then another thing said, well, this will work except for Windows 8.
Right.
Okay.
A lot of websites now so an ad blocker, we like them because it's faster to load pages. We don't see the dancing monkeys. But the website relies on that income to pay for the website. Yahoo's is free. How does Yahoo pay for all that stuff it does? Well, through ads. So a lot of websites now are starting to do this. I know because
website is blocked. That wonderful woman I spoke with, she said, "Oh, your website is blocked." I said, "Why?"
Because you have an ad blocker. So let's get rid of the ad blocker. You'll see ads again. But I got to figure out what Francis did. What browser do you use, Mary?
What's a browser?
Good start. You know that thing you use to get on the internet, to look at Yahoo? That's called a browser.
Is that Chrome?
It's probably Chrome. Yeah, you're probably using Chrome because Francis put Chrome on. Because Francis said, "Oh, Mary, you shouldn't use Internet Explorer. You got to use Chrome."
I have Explorer.
Yeah. Well, that's one thing you could do, by the way. The ad blocker is almost certainly tied to Chrome, to that browser. If you used Edge, which you have Windows 10, I hope, right?
No, 8. I don't care. But there's something at the bottom of my screen that says, updates are available, blah, blah, blah. But I'm afraid to touch anything because I got back 3 times.
How long has it been since Francis visited?
Oh, it's been a while, but I don't know.
It's been a long time.
2 years, maybe.
Yeah. So Windows 8 is no longer supported by Microsoft.
Okay.
So that means you're vulnerable to all sorts of internet security issues. So what they're trying to get you to do is upgrade to Windows 10. But what's interesting, you haven't been doing any updates, have you?
No, Francis has to do it, and also Avira, which is on the
I'm coming, Elizabeth! I got the big one! It's the big one!
Listen, you talked about a bottle cap. I want a little respect.
No, I'm teasing you, Mary.
Avira has...
I'm teasing you, but we have a lot to fix here. Can you call up Francis?
No. Let me just tell you, too. Also, Avira has come in. But I figured out if I go down and I touch the colored round thing, it takes me right back to my email, which is all I ever want to do.
All you ever want to do is get your Yahoo email. I understand. Hold on just a sec, because you hear that thing? It means I got to take a break.
I'm going to look at my paper and turn my head.
Oh, yeah. Turn your head, bounce, and I'll be back with you in a sec. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. I'm coming, Elizabeth! It's a big one! Okay. Now, let's be serious.
You're making me sound I am, by definition, this is what I am, but you're making me sound worse.
No, you're fine. I'm teasing.
I know.
So
I'm feeding right into it.
Here's the thing. Actually, Windows, which version of Windows by any chance? Windows 8? See, there's 2 Windows 8s. There's 8 and there's 8.1.
8.1.
Oh, that's good.
Told me that.
Okay, that's important because 8 is expired, but 8.1, I think you have a little more time. No, never mind. Never mind.
On the bottom of the front page.
Mainstream support ended in 2018. And so that means you won't get any, let's see, will you get security? If you lost mainstream support, I think you don't get any security patches. And you're not running updates because you're worried when you run an update, it's going to screw everything up.
Right.
So what that means is you're using a system that is actually pretty dangerous to use online. You're going to get hit by malware. Your next call to me is, somebody called me up and my computer, and I did. So it's, you got problems. Mary, can you afford to go out and get a Chromebook?
Oh, what's a Chromebook cost, and what is it?
A couple of $300.
I can do that.
It's is your Windows machine a laptop?
It's a gate.
It's a what?
A gateway.
But is it a foldable one, or is it? It's one you can carry. It's portable.
Yeah, I can go anywhere.
It's gateway. Yeah, that's pretty old. So you're still going to get security updates, they're telling me. So that's okay. So you're not completely, but you're not applying them. I honestly think Windows is more complicated than you need.
Okay.
Because you need a guy. When they first started selling automobiles, it came with a mechanic and a chauffeur because nobody could figure out how to use them.
That's the point. My brother gave it to me. He got it from my mom, and it was too complicated, he thought. So he gave it to me, and I really didn't want or need. And then I thought, okay.
Do you shop on Amazon? Do you ever go to Amazon? Or
God, no.
No. The only reason I say that is because, I would say go down to Best Buy or Costco or somewhere and get a Chromebook. If you don't mind going to a store, go ahead and do that.
Listen, I can, pay any 11-year-old to order something for me online.
Okay. Because Amazon has a wide array of Chromebooks on the website. You could do that anyway on your system.
Okay, my question, though, at this time now, I have no alternative but to put up with Avira.
Oh, he put Avira on there. Oh, yeah, I bet that's an antivirus, a free antivirus, but it may also be the ad blocker as well.
It came up about a month ago, and what it does is it gets progressively bigger. I could flip over to the side.
This is why I want you to get a Chromebook. Francis really didn't do you any favors.
Okay, I'll get him back to clean up.
He basically set up something that needs him to come every 6 months.
I pay him. He's wonderful.
Good. Have him come over. And he can. So Avira is free antivirus software, but now it says I want money.
No. Oh, it does?
That's what the pop-up is.
It said the thing says you have to your monthly scan, blah blah blah. It's free. Click here.
Oh, okay. Well, that's okay. Go ahead and do that. I don't like Avira, but go ahead and do that. You should have at least that to protect you.
Okay.
Go ahead and say okay. That's an antivirus. Avira, see, antivirus. And then the ad blocker, which is probably a Chrome extension, should have an interface to it on the. I say I can say these words, but I know it doesn't make any sense to you, so it's not helpful. Hang on, okay? Because I got to do Johnny Jet, but I'm not going to let you go. Can you hang on for a minute, Mary? All right. He's been everywhere. He's not going anywhere because it's not the mountain air, it's the COVID air that's slowing him down. That's Johnny Jet, traveling guy. JohnnyJet.com. The newsletter's at johnnyjet.com/newsletter. The podcast, johnnyjet.com/podcast. He's got a YouTube channel. And he's got a lot of time for all of that because he ain't doing much traveling. Hello, Johnny Jet.
Unfortunately, travel took a bad turn this week. Got hit hard with COVID. It's out of control. All these places are going on lockdown. The good news is Pfizer announced they have a vaccine that's supposedly 90% effective. And, so maybe in April, I'm hoping that
don't do that to yourself, Johnny. Don't do that to yourself. Unless it makes you feel better to say things like that.
It definitely does make me feel better.
Okay, then do that to yourself.
But
just know that when we get to April,
I know
you may be saying, and then it's sometime.
I know, but you got to keep hope alive.
It makes you keep hope alive. I'm with you. You.
So the big hit this week was a cruise ship called Sea Dream, and my buddy,
first cruise ship to go out into the Caribbean with passengers. Your buddy's on it? Oh, the Points guy.
Yeah,
he's the guy who he broke the story.
Sloan, he writes for the Points guy.
Yeah, he broke the story. Yeah.
So if you should follow him on Twitter. Cruise Log is his handle. And actually, he just tweeted now, or just a little while ago, lesson learned, my time in quarantine, I need a better telephone. He's coming close to his month end after 4 days. Oh. So he's now locked in this cabin that has no windows or a balcony.
It seemed like a good idea.
Well, there were only 53 passengers on this ship, and they made everyone do the PCR test, 72 hours before, and then they tested them again before they got on board right at the dock.
Yeah, and what happened, Johnny? And what happened?
Now 6 people have it out of 53. And so now they turn the boat around. They're in Barbados, in the harbor, not docked, and they're just waiting it out. And it seems like he has to be there for 14 days in a cabin, which, that's the problem with travel right now. And that's why New Zealand is so strict on their quarantine because, I was talking to one of the PR people, and they're like, listen, we when people land in New Zealand, and by the way, I just interviewed someone, and I'm going to upload it on my podcast about this. You're in a hotel, although unlike Australia, you can't leave your hotel room. But in New Zealand, you can leave your hotel room and just walk around the hotel. It's all fenced in. And
great. It's basically a COVID concentration camp.
But it is. But for 14 days, you're in there and you can't leave that property. But because on like day 3, day 10, even sometimes day 14, people test positive. And so that's why, unfortunately, I don't think Hawaii is going to work with this 72-hour in advance testing. I'm hoping I'm wrong. I really do, because no one wants to travel more than me. But the problem is, it's out of control, and you see these examples of this cruise ship. This cruise ship was doing everything right. It's called the Sea Dream, and now it's nicknamed the Sea Nightmare.
I would not. It was brave of Gene.
Yep.
I am looking at his Twitter. I feel bad for him, although his cabin does have a window, Johnny. It's not like he's...
No, well, he doesn't. It doesn't open.
It doesn't open. But at least you can look at it.
Yeah, at least you can look at it. But come on, you want fresh air.
Yeah. Yeah, this is not the time to say, oh, I really miss cruising. I'm going to hop on a boat.
Well, you'd be surprised, because actually cruise sales are up, if you believe it or not.
I got a catalog. I got a cruise catalog the other day. Hey, come on, we're going to have some fun trips this year. It's like, no.
Well, because people deferred their payments from this year to next.
Yeah.
Also, the availability is all, a lot of these ships are now being sailed to Turkey and cut up. They're in the junkyard.
Don't cut up my ship. I love my ship.
A lot of them, Carnival, I think, cut up 4.
Yeah, but they were old, right?
They're like 20-something years old. It's not that old.
In the cruise. Yeah, it's pretty beat up.
I mean, it is old, but not. Yeah. You would think there would be something better you could do with it. Put house of homeless. I don't know what you can do, but I
don't feel so bad for the cruise lines. I mean, 60% of small businesses in the U.S., it's estimated, will go under thanks to this. I feel bad for all the people out of work, all the small business. I'm a small business owner. I feel bad for you, Johnny.
I'm getting crushed. I want people to travel. It helps my business, but I can't. I wrote a post today. Is it ethical to travel for the holidays? And I said I can't tell people what to do. It's a personal decision, but
it's a tough one.
With a good conscience, recommend people to go out there.
So Thanksgiving is not only Thanksgiving in our family, it's also my son's, Michael's 18th birthday. He wants to see his grandparents. He wants to see his cousins. He wants to celebrate. And
everyone does.
I feel bad for him, but I don't think we're going to have a big party.
No, you can't. I mean, they say, if you really love someone, you'll stay away. I love my dad so much, but he's in Florida. I was going to surprise him on Monday for his birthday.
Is he okay? Is he doing okay?
He's fine, but he's 92. He's going to be 92 on Monday. I've always taken him somewhere for his birthday. I usually take him anywhere in the world he wants to go.
Johnny.
And usually he says Vegas, or he says last year he picked California to come meet his granddaughter for the first time. So, but fortunately we have FaceTime. Although
Thank
this Thanksgiving
God we have
is different.
Zoom and FaceTime. It's going to be a Zoom Thanksgiving, I think.
Actually, we did a post on how to have a virtual Thanksgiving.
And Zoom, to their credit, they said we're going to turn off the 40-minute limit on the free account so that people can have longer Thanksgiving dinners.
That's great.
That's nice.
Good.
Thank you, Zoom.
Good for them.
Yeah.
I mean, they're making so much money right now. Why should they care? But
yeah, they're doing
AAA
fine.
just came out with a forecast saying that the travel is definitely down at least 10% for Thanksgiving. 4% for driving this year, 47.5% for air, and 76% for other, like bus, train, or cruise. So
only 10%?
Well, I must have read that line wrong, because this doesn't
sound right.
No, so it's at least it's more than
it's
half.
a lot. Yeah,
because I'm looking at the numbers right now.
But look, we're all so sick of this. It's been 8 months in quarantine. We're done. We are done. But we can't be done. But
travelers should know, if they are driving for Thanksgiving, traditionally it's always been the Wednesday before Thanksgiving and the Sunday after that are the busiest. According to TWiT.com, they're saying that it's actually now the Saturday before is going to be the most popular, and people are going to be returning much later, like Wednesday after.
So when this vaccine hits and come spring, do you think people are just going to flock back to travel, or do you think I'm like going to be a little hesitant for a while, I think, right?
I mean, if
I hate to say that,
vaccine is proven safe and
90% effective, that's pretty
huge
good.
Demand in travel, but the question is, can people afford it? A lot of people won't be able to afford it, and I'm one of them. I'll be using my miles and points. Fortunately, I'm miles and points rich, but so
and they aren't expiring, right? They're going to let those. You're going to keep all those. They're not going to expire, on my hope.
No, and actually, American just came out yesterday saying they're going to extend it by 6 more months, which is good news for like my mother-in-law and my son. Actually, my son's good, because American actually said people under 21, their points don't expire. But my mother-in-law's points are expiring on December. I keep getting notifications, make sure I do something to requalify them.
Yeah.
But anyway, how much time we got?
Got a minute.
Okay. Well,
Can you lift us up? Can you let something positive, cheerful?
If you are going to travel this Thanksgiving or by plane, I recommend the My TSA app.
Okay.
And if you're not going to travel, at least download it. But a lot
Make
of people
the TSA feel better. They'll appreciate it.
No, what's good about the TSA, the best thing about this app or their service is they have their links to their social channels like Facebook and Twitter. If you tweet Ask TSA, you can ask them any question. Can I bring a turkey with stuffing through security or cranberries? They will respond usually within 5 to 10 minutes during office hours, which is during the week. So it's a great service because, I mean, there's so many things that are, not allowed, and you don't want to get to the security checkpoint and they're like, sorry, you got to either check this, go all the way back down, or throw it away.
We'll be traveling again. You'll be glad you have the My TSA app, iOS or Android. And you know what? We can at least think about it by going to johnnyjet.com, reliving some of those great travel moments from years gone by. Johnny Jet, stay well, stay healthy, stay home. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Poor Johnny. I'm starting to feel bad for you, dude.
I'm feeling bad for myself. I'm getting crushed. And California just came out. I forgot to mention that. California just came out yesterday.
Yeah, you got to quarantine if you're going to come visit.
Or if you're returning home.
Yeah, California, Oregon, and Idaho, both.
Washington,
I mean, yeah. Can you believe it?
And they say, and if people don't do it, which I don't think people are going to abide by it, they're going to turn it into a travel ban. Right now, it's a travel advisory.
Yeah. Sigh.
So.
Do not buy the manufactured second wave panic, says some nitwit in the chat room. Yeah, it's a hoax, right? Those 1,300 people who died yesterday, the 1,300 are going to die today, they're not really dead.
When the hospitals are getting over capacity, that's when they got to do the lockdown. Like, who wants to do a lockdown? But you have no choice. If healthcare is just
you were right, 10% is right. 50 million travelers versus 55 million last year. So people, that's the thing that I think the reason we're seeing this huge spike is because people said, screw it. I'm partying. I'm out of here. People can only put up so long with lockdown. I mean, I'm going to put up with it because I don't want to die, but boy, it's like, whew. People just going, screw it. He froze. Oh, poor Johnny. He gone. Oh, he's back. There you are.
I'll see you later.
All right, Johnny. Have a good one, all right?
I have no idea what happened.
Yeah, your Skype died on us. All right. Take care. Be safe. Be well.
You too.
All right. I'm sorry you got disconnected, but you're back.
Yes.
I can't spend too much more time with you, as you know, because I got to do a show here.
Yes.
I don't know what, there are going to be... there's going to be a way to disable that ad blocker per page so that you could say to it, don't block yahoo.com, and then you won't get that pop-up. But you're going to have to ask Francis what ad blocker he used and how to do it, because I don't know what he used.
I don't either. What I'm concerned with is what I'm doing until Francis gets to my computer. Is there a problem that I hit reload?
If it works after you hit reload, no problem at all.
Okay, now, when Avira comes up, it takes the whole screen, but I go down to that round thing with the different color circles and the blue dot in the middle. I guess that's Chrome something. I hit that, and it takes me right to my email page. So I just want to know that I'm safe until I get help.
You're safe-ish. Run those Avira scans. If it's asking you to scan, go ahead and do that. That's okay.
What if there's already another security thing in there, which happens?
Don't know. We don't know. But I think you're all right. The Avira is protecting you. Those scans are looking for problems. So if you run the scans, that's good. Do the updates.
Sure.
Do the updates for sure, okay? And then get Francis in there and show you some of the things to fix it. Or get a Chromebook, which is safe forever. Inherently safe. And they're only a few $100. I like the Acer Spin. It's a little more expensive. Leo Laporte, the tech guy, 8888 Ask Leo, the phone number. On we go with the show. Gary on the line from Covina, California. Hello, Gary.
Hey, how you doing, Leo?
I'm well, even though Johnny just depressed the hell out of me. But what's up? I'm going to pretend I didn't hear any of that. What's up?
Well, I have a HP Envy computer. It's probably about 5 years old.
Yep.
And it has a 1 terabyte hard drive.
Okay.
That's partitioned into a C and a D drive.
Okay.
The C drive is 120 megabytes, and it keeps filling up, and I don't know how to fix it.
Yeah. So when you partitioned it, you didn't know how much room you needed, and so you partitioned it a little too light for the C and a little too much for the D, I'm guessing. The reason you're having a problem is C is not only for Windows, it's also all the apps you install go into C.
Yeah, understand.
You may be able to move. You're on Windows, I presume. C and D sounds like a Windows guy. You can move your documents folder, your data stuff to D. I would do that. That might fix the problem. But the other thing you could do, you already did that before?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So let me tell you kind of where I'm at now. I'm not sure I know how to clean C drive up anymore, so I'm considering buying a new machine, frankly. And
no. Okay, it's an older machine. You're due. You owe it to yourself.
Yeah.
We could solve this without buying a new machine, but go ahead. I don't want to stop you.
No, I might be interested in that, but I'm looking at new machines, and most of them are like 256 megabyte hard drives. You know, and I'm going.
They're just doing that so that they can say what the starting price is low. But nobody should get a machine these days with less than 512. And really, I think terabyte is where to start. So just so this doesn't happen, and don't do the partitioning next time. Just let your data fly, and let it go anywhere it wants. Windows, I do what you're doing. In fact, I've recommended it for years, but there's always this risk that because you don't know how much you're going to need, you'll misallocate. 120 gigs is way too little, obviously, for your C drive.
Obviously. Okay. Well, is there a way to undo that? I mean,
yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, you could. There are non-destructive partitioners, but honestly, because you filled up, I bet you the D is pretty full too, right?
It's about half full.
Half full. You can, with a non-destructive partitioner, expand the C drive in many cases, depending on how the D drive is laid out. If it's really fragmented, you might not be able to. But even Windows own part. Are you on Windows 10?
Yes.
Yeah, you could. So right-click on the Windows menu or hit Windows X and open up the disk management tool. And that's actually a partitioner. And in some cases, you can click on the C partition and expand it and make it big. Just make it bigger. If that doesn't work, there are programs like Acronis partitioner. EaseUS has a partitioner that will do what's called non-destructive. But really, the safest way to do this would be go out and buy an external drive, put everything on the external drive, delete the partitions on the internal drive, which now erases everything. That's why you had to make a backup. Reformat it as one big C drive, then restore everything. Or even better yet, reinstall Windows in that C drive, reinstall your apps, and move the data back on. In other words, you can reformat the drive and do it. That's a little bit of work, I know.
Yeah, no question.
You could also, if you're having trouble with resizing, move everything off D onto the external drive, then resize. Because if it's an empty drive, it'll resize. The problem is fragmentation makes it hard to resize if there's a lot of stuff on D.
Okay. Well, the defrag or Windows optimization runs all the time, so I don't think I'm too bad on.
Okay, you might be able to go into the disk management utility and just expand it. If you click on that C partition and look at the possible actions, you'll see that you can expand it.
Okay.
Yeah,
give that a shot.
It's worth a try. I guess they call it extend volume. I'm looking at mine. I can only shrink it, so I think it depends on how much free space there is on the D drive and where it's allocated and all that.
Okay. Well, appreciate the thought. I'll try
Or
that.
get a new computer. It's a good time. Computers are cheap. What do you want to get? I mean, I don't want to discourage you from spending your money.
Well, no, I mean, that's the issue. I don't do a lot with the computer, but it keeps running out of space. I mean, I run, you know.
You had a good idea, which was to put the data on a separate partition from the operating system. You just didn't give the operating system enough space to grow.
Well, yeah, okay. It's not like I did that consciously. That's
when I talk about this, I should be really clear. Yeah, you want to give a Windows partition at least 256 gigs, if not more, because all the apps go there. Every app you install is ending up in the C, so it's easy to fill it up.
Okay. Well, again, I appreciate the advice.
All right,
go down that
my
path.
pleasure. All right. Yeah, if you got everything off the D drive, I think you could expand the C. You might even be able to do it without getting everything off of it. Certainly, you should be able to do it after you make that drive. What you do is copy the D drive on an external drive, a backup. You should do that anyway. You want a backup, right? Then go into the disk management utility, delete the D partition. If there's nothing there, if it's empty space, then you should be easily able to just slide the C partition over to occupy that space. Now you've got one big C partition, restore D in there, and you should be good. Charlie's in Toms River, New Jersey. Hello, Charlie. Hello, Charlie. Let's push the button, Leo. Hello, Charlie.
Hey, Leo.
How you doing?
Pretty good.
What can I do for you? Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I just installed Big Sur on both Macs.
How exciting.
And works fine.
Good.
But I went to do a bootable backup of the drive.
Oh, yeah.
You can't do it, apparently, according to Carbon Copy Cloner or Super Duper.
Make sure you update them.
Yeah, they're updated.
Apple has changed the way they handle this. Remember when you went to Catalina, all of a sudden, if you look at Disk Utility, you have two drives. You have a system drive that's read-only, and then all the other stuff is at a second drive. This has gotten even more strict. This is a security measure, but it is possible to make a bootable backup of a Big Sur. It's just that you have to jump through some hoops. In fact, Carbon Copy Cloner, I know, can do it.
Oh, okay. They said they couldn't do it for some reason.
Well, if you go to bombitch.com, that's the host site, right? That's right. Mike Bombitch, the guy who wrote Carbon Copy Cloner. He has a article in his blog. So go to the blog. It says, yes, you can have bootable backups on Big Sur. It says that. That's the headline. But he talks about what you need to do and how it's different. And this is, Apple definitely changed things. I love the idea of having a bootable clone of my internal drive, because then if it dies for any reason, I don't have to stop working. I just boot up to the external drive and I'm good.
Right.
He also says how we should talk to Apple for future references. So you need to have Carbon Copy Cloner 5.1.22.
Yes, I have that one.
Okay. Read his blog post. He talks in much more detail than I can on why this is an issue and what you can do to get around it.
All right. Thanks, Leo.
Leo Laporte, the tech guy. It's complicated. It's complicated. There is a new beta, I guess, 5.1.23 beta 1 that has support. Okay, so that's what it is. You can't do it on the 2.2. You have to get the 2.3 beta 1. It's a universal binary, so that's good. With the announcement of Big Sur, Apple has retired Mac OS X. Every upgrade. I certainly can understand. System now resides, and this is why it doesn't work anymore, on assigned system volume. I've been actually reading up on this. I started last night because I became aware of this issue. The volume is cryptographically sealed, can't be modified, and the seal can only be applied by Apple, so it can't. Ordinary copies of the system volume, you make a copy of it, Apple seal is not copied, won't work. Mac goes, where's the seal? No seal. To create a functional copy of the macOS system volume, we have to use an Apple tool to copy the system or install macOS into the backup. So it's much more secure. The point being that nobody can modify your system at all, right? Only Apple can verify the system. It has to be signed. But yes, you can have a bootable copy. You can install Big Sur onto your Carbon Copy Cloner backup to make it bootable. Oh, that's crazy. Oh my God. You have to install Big Sur onto the clone. In the future, he says we're going to use Apple's APFS replication utility, ASR, to clone the volume. So Apple understands there's an issue. Ay, 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 ay. Crazy. Crazy. All right, I got to get my ads here. Wait a minute. Let's see. You can buy Kona coffee in Kansas. Says Dirk Gently. Yeah, I'm going to do a Big Sur hands-on Mac, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. We'll have more with the Tech Guy Show in just a little bit. The show brought to you today by ESET. You may remember I did ESET ads for years, for a long time. I think I'm still quite strongly associated with ESET. What I didn't know is that I'd never stopped using ESET. It kind of surprised me. I asked Russell, our managed service provider, our IT guy. I said, Russell, every time I see him, I say, are we safe? Ransomware. Are we safe? Malware. Are we safe? Russell. He always says, we're safe. I always say, but are we really? And he says, yes, we're really safe. Finally, he told me why. Ever since we started, TWiT's been using ESET. ESET's been around for 30 years, a global leader in cybersecurity. And it's what we use here for a couple of reasons. One, it's the most accurate virus protection you can get. That's a big part. But also, it's the lightest weight, so it doesn't get in the way. We put it on all the editors' machines, for instance. They're using Windows 7 machines because we don't, it's got all the edit software on there, Premiere and everything. We don't want to mess with it. But we also don't want to slow it down with virus protection. ESET doesn't. It is lightweight. And with multiple layers of protection, it is the most accurate solution you can get. With ESET's Security Management Center, Russell can see what's going on wherever he is. As long as he can get online, he can get a real-time overview of all the on- and off-premise endpoints. If they're secure, what's going on. There's full reporting, automated security management for all the operating systems. We use it on our Macs as well. They have another product I think is so cool. We use this too. It's called Dynamic Threat Defense. It provides another layer of security for ESET products like their endpoint product and their mail security. What it does is it's so clever. If, as attachments come in, right, this is your biggest threat, files that are coming in, it will take them before it even delivers it to your inbox. It will put it in a sandbox in the cloud, execute it, and analyze its behavior. This is how you stop 0 days cold, because a 0 day you don't know that it's brand new, right? But if you execute it and you can see that malicious behavior, you can stop it then. And that's what Dynamic Threat Defense does. It can identify a suspicious program and block it, all before it reaches you, your users, your network. This is one of the reasons ESET is absolutely the best out there. We've been using ESET for as long as I can remember. They're trusted by thousands of state and local governments, top universities, and businesses like ours worldwide. PCI compliant if you take credit cards, GLBA if you handle customer financial transactions, HIPAA for healthcare data. You can buy it whatever way works best for you. We get it through Russell. He's our MSP. But you can also purchase it directly for yourself, or you can get it through their ESET reseller program. Doesn't matter. Whatever you do, get ESET. Get protected. They also get the top reviews from independent testing labs, not only for extremely accurate detection, but minimal system impact. They're a great fit for small and medium businesses like ours. I hope you'll check them out. Try them out, actually. Get an interactive demo at try.eset.com/twit. You can see that management console in action. Try.eset.com/twit and start a free trial if you want. try.eset.com/TWIT to get a free trial of ESET's award-winning endpoint protection. In fact, let me recommend that if you've got a lot of people working from home. We bought the ESET endpoint protection. They have a whole package for ESET for work from home, and it's really fantastic. Check that one out. Absolutely. Try.eset.com/twit. And now back to the show. Well, hey, how are you today? Leo Laporte here, the tech guy. Time to talk computers, the internet, home theater, digital photography, smartphones, smartwatches. 8888, ask Leo, all that jazz. 888-827-5536. Toll free from anywhere in the U.S. or Canada. Let's talk high tech. Our next call, by the way, I looked into the Mac OS making a bootable copy thing. A little more detail. Big Sur, the new version of Mac OS, is locked down. It's the most locked down version of not only Mac OS, but really any desktop OS I've ever seen, which is probably a good thing. It's more secure that way, right? Less likely to get malware on it. One of the things Apple has kind of been easing into, and they've really done it full bore this time, they're using a new file system, which they launched a couple of versions ago called APFS. That's the new Apple file system. It has a lot of fancy features. One of the features, though, allows them to take all the system files, the operating system, and put it on a separate volume. That's what the term they use. It's like kind of like a partition, a separate volume from everything else. That volume is locked down. It's read-only, and it's signed by Apple. That's the thing. That's the part of the operating system you need to boot up the computer. And there's a good reason to lock that down, because now malware cannot change it, cannot modify it. It is, and if it does, if somehow something modifies it, your system won't boot. It won't run. And it can only be signed by Apple or an Apple tool. It can't be signed by any third party. Apple has to say, yep, that's the operating system and it's unmodified. And this isn't just on new Macs, on the new M1 chip. This is on all Macs running Big Sur. This is a part of Apple's security policy. And I don't know, this is actually how the iPhone works. So there are operating systems that work like this, mobile ones, but this is the first time I've seen this on a desktop. What that means, though, is you cannot make a bootable clone of it. You can't just copy the hard drive and have it boot. It won't. Those are the old days. You now need to have it signed by Apple. And as of now, no third party, not Carbon Copy Cloner or Super Duper, any of the Apple tools can do that. They shouldn't be able to. That's what keeps it secure. There's always a risk. Sometimes you'll hear me say, well, you can reinstall Windows. You just download it from Microsoft. And I always will add the caveat, make sure you get it from Microsoft so you know it's original Windows, not some hacker version that's got malware installed on it. Well, now I don't even have to say that, because if you don't get Mac OS Big Sur from Apple, it's not going to run. It's not going to run. And it's also caused problems for people who want to do what I always do, which is create an installer USB key. Can't really do that either. They've locked it down. That's the right thing to do. So for now, if you want to make a bootable copy of your hard drive, which I think is a nice thing to have, as I mentioned, because then your hard drive, like if you have an internal hard drive in your laptop and it dies, you can plug in an external drive. And Apple, has this key press, the option key, and when you're booting up and it say boot to the external drive and you're back up and running, right? Except you can't do that anymore. You have to, this is the workaround, make a clone of the hard drive and then install Big Sur onto it using Apple's installer, because that will be signed. Now it's signed. Install Big Sur onto it. I have mixed feelings about this. This is the progress we've made over the past few years because of bad guys and malware, ransomware. All the computer companies are trying to make their systems more hacker-proof, more reliable, more robust. This is the most extreme anybody's gone. And I guess I applaud Apple because on the one hand, they're really protecting their users. Actually, there is one other operating system that works this way, Chrome OS. That's one of the reasons I tell people to get a Chromebook. It will not boot up unless it's an official Chrome OS installation. Now, there's a switch on all Chromebooks to disable that protection. It's called the developer mode switch, and it's either software or hardware. You can tell a Chromebook, no, I'm going to install my own thing on you. And the Chromebook will say, okay, I don't recommend it, but all right. As far as I know, there's no switch with Apple. Not right now, anyway. So something to be aware of. I'm glad, actually, that our last caller called and asked about that because I've been meaning to talk about it. This is a good thing for the general populace, for people like me who like to mess around with our computers or make bootable backups. Kind of more advanced users, it's a little bit of a roadblock. It's supposed to be. It's supposed to be a roadblock for bad guys. I guess it's really kind of the same for Windows, but you can go into the system setup and turn off secure boot, and it won't do that. So, Virginia's on the line from Utica, New York. Our next caller. Hi, Virginia. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. Interesting listening to the program
Thank you.
On hold.
For the last hour and a half. I'm so sorry.
Well, no, not quite, but it's like listening to a different language because
yes.
I'm pretty much self-taught, and this is all way above what I know.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I try to make it English. I do.
Well,
occasionally I lapse into geek. I apologize.
No, that's all right. It's interesting to listen to it anyways. But anyways, if you could talk to me in plain baby English.
I will try. Okay.
I'm considering getting a password manager.
Good.
For my 1,000 passwords.
Yes. How do you do it now?
Well, I need to know. I don't understand how to physically use it. I don't need the programming part of it. Just
No. I can help you. But what do you how do you keep track of your passwords now?
Well, they're on a spreadsheet.
Okay. And actually, that's not the end of the world. I was at Walmart the other day. They have a whole rack of notebooks. One of them is a big, long, tall notebook that says passwords on it. I thought, well...
Mine's on Excel.
Yeah. I mean,
okay.
It's not the most secure, but if you don't anticipate getting hacked, it's fine.
Okay.
In order to get that spreadsheet, somebody would have to get into your system, right?
Correct.
I mean, at least with the passwords book, I could put it in a safe or I could hide it. But yours is on your system. So the risk there is that anybody who has access to your system now has all your passwords too.
Yeah,
but it's not
printed out.
Yeah, it's not the end of the world. Printing it out is actually safer because then they would have to have physical access to your home.
Right. Okay.
But less useful because you change your password, now you got to cross it out, write in a new one or whatever. This is the whole problem. It's not completely secure. It's hard to change. It's hard to manage. And as a result, what people mostly do with passwords is they reuse the same one over and over.
Oh, yeah.
Birthday, dog's name, my middle name, that kind of thing. And those are easy for bad guys to what we call brute force, which is, just keep trying until they get through. And if it's kind of commonplace stuff, they're going to get through because they can try millions and millions of passwords a second. So it's a good idea to create really long, random passwords. If a password is, say, 25 characters long and a completely random mix of upper and lowercase letters, punctuation, and numbers, it would take even at millions of passwords a second, it would take thousands of years to guess it. So that's good. So that's why we use a password manager. 2 reasons. 1, to generate those passwords so we don't keep using the dog's middle name. And 2, to keep track of it because no one could remember that. You wouldn't even want to write it down in a spreadsheet. You wouldn't ever want to write it down again. So that's the third thing password managers do for most password managers. They automatically fill it in so that you don't have to type it. You don't want to have to type it. What you want is no reason to make your password weak. No incentive to make it easy to remember or easy to type. You want to make it hard. Then you're more secure. So any password manager will do all of the above. It'll generate passwords. It'll remember them. There's one little catch. There's one password you do have to remember, the one to unlock the vault. right?
Okay, yeah. Mm-hmm.
So you make that one a good long one and you memorize it. Will use a passage from a book or a song or a Shakespeare play, to be or not, to be or and not to be, that is the question, something like that.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
So that's your master password. So
okay.
We have a sponsor, LastPass, that's one of them, but there's 1Password, there's Bitwarden, there's a million of them. There's a lot of these password managers.
Considering LastPass.
LastPass is my favorite. That's what I've been using. But so the way what'll happen is you'll install it. Good. Okay, I got a password manager. Now what? The next time you get to a page that needs a password, you'll enter it in as you always do, and then LastPass will say, "Oh, you want me to remember that?" And you say, "Oh, well, that would be nice. Thank you."
Okay.
Every time you use a password from now on, if LastPass doesn't have a record of it, it will remember it. And so you're starting to fill out your vault, right? Pretty soon you can throw away the spreadsheet. You probably don't want to throw it away, but maybe print it out and put it aside somewhere in case you need it. Now, the other thing that'll happen is there is a generate password command. So when you get to it, when you sign up for a new site, you can have it generate a password for that site and then remember it.
So there'll be a pop-up?
Yeah. Though it depends on the device. On Windows and Macintosh, it actually modifies the field with some little icons. On iOS and Android, it'll say, "Do you want me to fill this in?" And you say yes. See, it's like that. It's a pop-up.
Okay. All right.
And it's pretty easy. There's one other thing I'm going to suggest, and I would do this with both the password manager and any site that allows it, is if it asks you or allows you to do a two-factor authentication, say yes.
Okay.
Because even if you're using the dog's middle name, your birthday, and your sister's husband's name as your password, and even if the bad guy guesses it, if you have two-factor, he also has to get that 6-digit code from your phone.
Okay.
So what you'll do is you put something like Google Authenticator. Actually, my favorite is Authy. It's free, AUTHY. And it will allow you to generate those codes. So what'll happen, and it's only the first time you log in most cases, you'll have LastPass will fill in the password, and then the site will say, "Oh, and what's the 6-figure code from your authenticator?" And you'll open your phone, you'll get the code, you type that 6 digits in. It won't ask you for that after that, just the first time. But that makes it much harder for a bad guy to get into your bank or your Facebook or your Amazon or any of your sites.
Okay. Any of the sites that I have my thumbprint?
That's even better. That's also two-factor, but it's better than just digits. It's your thumbprint. That's great. Yeah, right. Use that. Use biometrics if you can. That's even better.
Okay. So LastPass will take care of that too.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. All right. I was just curious, like if I went into a site like Amazon, how do I get my password from LastPass?
It'll just fill it. It has what's called autofill. It'll just fill it in for you.
Oh,
it's actually more convenient because you never type that password again.
Okay. All right.
Now, since you have all your passwords, this is a Black Diamond tip. Since all your passwords, so just consider this not for you maybe, but since you already have your passwords in Excel, you could export the Excel as a CSV comma separated file and import it into LastPass, but it has to be in the format that LastPass understands. So you may have to do some tweaking. LastPass has, I'm sure, a help note on how to do that.
All right, so I don't have to populate LastPass. I just have to, every time I go into a site.
Yeah, that's the easiest way to do it, is just
okay.
The next time you log into a site that LastPass doesn't have a password for,
yeah,
it will just say, "Hey, I see you used a password. Would you like me to remember that?" And you say yes. Your browser used to do that, right? A lot of people keep...
Sometimes
it still does, yeah. So
yeah.
When you first install LastPass, it'll see all those saved browser passwords. It'll import those automatically.
Okay, all right.
And that's, by the way, much safer than using the browser to remember them. In fact, what I would suggest is you import them and then you turn them off. You disable that remember passwords for me in your browser, Chrome or Firefox or Edge or Internet Explorer, whatever it is you use, Safari. I always turn that off because I don't want my browser to remember it. I want LastPass to remember it.
Exactly. Okay, great. In plain English.
Wasn't so hard, was it?
No, it wasn't. Thank you very much.
Thanks for the call. You are doing the single most important thing you can do for your security right now, Virginia. That's really important.
Now, do I need premium or just the free one?
Start with a free one. Premium lets you sync to your smartphone and stuff like that. There are a few additional features. Yeah, it's not expensive, but start with the free one. Why not? See if you like it.
Okay. Wonderful. Thank you very much.
My pleasure. Thanks for
Leo.
calling. You're doing a good thing. Everybody should do this. There's really two important things: password manager and two-factor. You got to do both. They're just really important. Yeah, we'll put in the show notes this LastPass instructions for getting your Excel data into your LastPass. But, since it's going to remember every time you log in, you don't need to do that. That's just a little extra fancy stuff. Just a little extra. Alex on the line from Covina, California. Hi, Alex. Leo Laporte, the tech guy.
Hi, Leo. I'm actually a pretty big fan of yours. I've been watching you since the screensavers on Tech TV when I was 12.
20 years ago. Thank you. I
my
appreciate
God.
it. Are you in your 30s now? Are you going to make me feel really old? Okay, go ahead.
God, I feel so old, man.
No, you're not old. I am. I wasn't 12 when I started. No, thank you. That's really great. I really love hearing that. Thank you.
It's been great talking to you so far. Yeah.
Nice.
Oh, yeah. There was something I wanted to say too. I'm also a LastPass user as well. I love it.
Yeah. See, I don't, LastPass is a sponsor and I'm a big fan, but any password manager is better than nothing. Just, you got to use one because nobody could keep track of 1,000 passwords. Poor Virginia was keeping track of 1,000 passwords in an Excel spreadsheet. Doesn't that sound painful?
I used to just go on websites and then I wouldn't even remember, so I would just go to.
Yeah, I forgot. I know there are a lot of people that's their password strategy. I forgot every time.
Yeah. Oh my God. Yeah. So, anyways, the question I wanted to ask is that.
Oh, wait a minute! I hear the music. Hang on! I got to take a break. You got me with all the nice words, and now I'm blushing.
No, I'm so sorry.
No, hang on, Alex. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. All right, I'm sorry, Alex. Go ahead.
No, I'm sorry, Leo. Too.
No. Never apologize for saying nice things. That's very welcome. Thank you.
Yeah. I was still mad about the whole tech. Anyway, that's a whole different topic.
And then they announced, on Twitter this year that they're coming back next year. And it's like, well, it ain't coming back with me. So is that Tech TV? I don't think so. Well, I think it's G4, and it's probably a web thing they're going to do.
Nah, I didn't even like it when it was G4, to be honest.
I know. They ruined it.
Tech TV.
Yeah, they ruined it.
Yeah, I stopped watching it. Honestly, I stopped watching it. It just wasn't the same.
I agree. Well, it's so nice to talk to you. Thank you.
No worries, man. Nice to talk to you.
So what can I do for you today?
Okay, great. I actually just built a new system that I'm very proud of.
Okay.
It has a 3700X. I have.
How'd you get one of those?
Just saving up money, I guess.
Yeah.
And I have 32 gigabytes of RAM. It's a beautiful, and I'm going to add 32 just for the fun of it.
Nice. Did you get the 8-core?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man.
I upgraded from an i7 3770.
Oh, it's going to be so much nicer. But you got the cooling, right?
Oh, absolutely. I'm using the AMD stock cooler.
Nice.
It's actually really good. It's a lot better than the Intel offering, to be honest with you.
Oh, I'm sure it is. Is it built?
Is it? Wait. Oh, yeah, I built it.
And you love it. What are you playing on it?
Love it. It's a fantastic system. What happened is that my old i7 3770K system crapped out on me, and then I was able to do I reinstalled Windows, but for some odd reason it wouldn't go on the Wi-Fi.
Ugh. I think we're all in agreement here that Intel has basically screwed the pooch, and bye Intel. If you're going to get x86, get a Ryzen. Forget Intel.
I'm still an Intel fanboy. I mean, I still love Intel. I think they're great. They're still great when it comes to single core performance, but I don't think it's $200 extra great. Yeah,
that's another good reason. Save money.
And I've always been interested onto the AMD on AMD processors ever since the Athlon era. So I finally used one. So it just feels great to finally be part of that.
Yeah. It's a cult.
It is for sure. So the main question, the reason why I mentioned that I built a new system was because something weird is kind of going on with it. And for some odd reason, I'm unable to connect my DS4 controller onto through Bluetooth. I don't know why.
Can you do other Bluetooth stuff?
Oh yeah, I'm able to. I was able to connect my my Nintendo Switch Pro controller through Bluetooth.
God, I hate Bluetooth. Bluetooth seems so unreliable. I don't know why your controller wouldn't. Everything else connects, just that controller doesn't connect.
Yeah, it's weird. Like it's able to detect my cell phone. It's able to detect.
It never sees the controller.
It doesn't see it at all. I even tried to do the hard reset on the DS4 controller using the little paper clip, and it's still not doing it. I looked up a bunch of YouTube tutorials. I looked up. I even installed DS4
you got me.
Windows.
You got me. And have you paired that controller to other devices?
I did with the PS4 a long time ago, but I'm starting to guess that it might be a Windows issue or something.
You know what? If you could connect the controller and see if there's an update for the controller. Sometimes they update the controllers. Hey, I got to run the second British invasion. Wow, Laura's digging deep in the deep cuts. Thank you, Professor. How did you get to be this way? You're like 12 years old. How do you even know about this stuff? She says, very good question. Love it. The second British invasion, ladies and gentlemen. British electronica music for your enjoyment. Jim on the line from Mission Viejo, California. Hello, Jim.
Hey, Leo.
Hey, how are you?
Oh, I'm good.
Good. What's up in your world?
Yeah, so my Facebook account got suspended and pretty much gone forever type of thing, and I don't know what's going on.
Oh, did they give you a reason?
Yeah, well, not really. So basically I got a message that says your account's been suspended and that it's been reviewed and cannot be reversed.
Well, you're out of luck. There's no recourse. Here's the good news. You could probably, you might be able to create another account, although what Facebook has...
No, that's the thing. They totally verify you now.
Yeah.
So it's me. It's like, no, you've been banned forever.
Yeah.
I don't know why. It's almost impossible for me to...
Yeah, they're not very... Here's the problem. You're living on their farm. They make the rules, and they've been, of course, very aggressive during COVID and the election season about the content, getting more and more aggressive about the content on Facebook. And it's a judge and jury. There's no recourse. You didn't get a trial. You didn't get a defense. They just told you you're out of here. And
I'm pretty positive it's a mistake because I don't do anything on Facebook. I'm maybe go on once a month, and
it is a mistake. Then it is a mistake.
It's definitely a mistake.
Yeah,
but they didn't I find it crazy that they say we've already reviewed it. Like, you're not even going to tell me. It's like,
I mean, it's shameful. It's wrong, but there's literally nothing to do about it.
I did do some research and found some people, loopholes. People.
Yeah, you can sneak. You could sneak back on.
Or something.
Yeah, you can sneak back on.
Well, how do you sneak back on?
Well, I am not going to tell you how, but there would be ways. Just pretend you're a teenager again.
Okay.
What would you do if you were 16 and trying to get a drink? That kind of thing. You just pretend you're a teenager.
Oh, okay.
I mean,
this is insane.
My normal response would be consider yourself lucky.
Yeah, it's not that important to me, but it's like it's a little annoying.
It is annoying.
Well, especially since my grandson wants the.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Quest 2.
Yeah,
that's the VR headset. You have to have an account.
That's
the usually make an account for him instead of.
By the way, incredibly frustrating, isn't it? I want to use the new Quest 2. I want to use it so badly, but I don't have a Facebook account. And I'm not going to make one just to be able to use their VR helmet. What the heck? That's not okay.
It's crazy. And my grandson can make. He's 15, so he can make an account. I usually just say use mine, and it's just crazy that. And I've seen.
Did he already do that? Did he set one up?
No. He wants it for Christmas. So.
Oh, okay. Because I was going to say it could be something he did.
Oh no, he doesn't do that at all.
Okay.
Yeah, and I don't know. I use two-factor authentication. I use a password manager.
Oh, you're good. You're good. You're good.
And it's like I couldn't have got hacked. I don't know. I basically changed my photos. My profile photo.
So you didn't post anything,
Absolutely not.
No political comments. You didn't post anything about vaccines or.
I don't comment, and I don't. Basically, all I do on Facebook is change my pictures based on the Lakers winning the championship.
Oh well, there you go, right there. Mark Zuckerberg is a Warriors fan. That's what. There you go, right there. You numbskull. No, I'm just teasing.
Okay.
That's really rotten. It's really rotten. And I think we have to really think about, is this what we want? Google's the same way, by the way. People get booted off of Google by accident. And then
that doesn't happen.
I know.
Google.
I know. I lose all my Gmail. So.
Yeah, I don't really care about the Facebook. It's just a little frustrating. I like to go on and see what my friends and family are doing.
So did you use two-factor as well on your Facebook account?
Absolutely. I was using two-factor.
So you weren't hacked.
Password manager.
You weren't hacked.
I don't think I was hacked. I'm pretty...
No, I guarantee you weren't.
But I don't... I thought, the only thing I could think of, and this would be kind of ridiculous, is I changed my... The last picture I remember changing my profile to was Eddie Van Halen, as a kind of a tribute. And I'm thinking, did they think I'm trying to pose as him and they shut my account down? Or
that could be.
It's possible.
Remember,
it's a little nutty.
They've got 2.5 billion active users. 2.5 billion. So everything is done automatically.
On a computer, right.
Right. No humans involved. There's a very, very large group of people that are, sad to say, responsible to look at the pictures that whenever there's a complaint and they see all sorts of...
I figure it's just
it was an algorithm. Yeah.
It just seems silly that
How frustrating.
Protest, I can't. It's funny. It tells you to appeal, go here, and you go there, and it says this has already been reviewed.
No appeal.
Found guilty. Good luck in jail.
Wow. Somebody posted a link in the chat room to Facebook support.
Doesn't do anything.
Well, I clicked it and it said log in. I'm like, what? So you can't log in if you just got banned. So
right, and then my favorite thing is it just says this has already been reviewed, and you can't be reversed. It's like, oh, great, you're being charged with murder, and guess what? We already tried you and found you guilty.
So just anybody who thinks, it'd be pretty good if Silicon Valley ran the world, just remember, there's no appeal. This is not, I feel for you. I don't know. Obviously, that there's nothing I can do about it.
No, I just thought maybe you knew.
Yeah, just vent, man. You're just here to vent. I feel bad.
Can you give Zuckerberg a jingle and tell me?
Mark, I got this friend Jim. He's in Mission Viejo. Maybe you know him. He's a Lakers fan. Don't hold that against him, Mark. Don't hold him. He's not Eddie Van Halen. He just likes Eddie Van Halen. He's not trying to be Eddie. Mark, could you just help us? Help a guy out. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know Mark that well.
No,
I would just say, consider yourself lucky. This is why this is bad, because you just want to share pictures with your grandkids. You just want to, see what's going on.
Yeah, I don't do anything. Literally, I just changed my photos based on Christmas.
And when you go to the submit an appeal, it says no appeal possible.
Yeah.
I think it's mistaken ID. I would try making a new account. Did you try this with your ID legally?
With my
just create a new account and send them your.
No, I haven't tried that yet. But
Try it.
But actually,
because here's what my one theory. It may be that they didn't ban you; they banned somebody much like you, and that you could
my name out there. That's for sure.
Yeah, but there's other people with your name. You're not the only Jim. I would just see if you can create a new account.
I'll give it a shot. Yeah, it's the other thing is that it recently asked for verification.
Yeah. They don't always do that.
It's kind of odd.
They don't always do that
for the first time.
It happened to me too, and I gave them my driver's license and all that. But they don't always do that.
It happened right after.
Right after. That means they think somebody was. There was something going on. Try again.
Yeah.
Make a new account. I am sorry, Jim. That stinks. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. And it said, you've already appealed. You didn't appeal it. That's the one piece of evidence that tells me it was crossed wires, because it happened to you and you didn't appeal, but they think you did, which means somebody else appealed.
Yeah, well, it's very strange, because it says this has already been reviewed and can't be reversed. I mean, well, what? Wait a minute. I didn't do anything. I haven't even tried to put appeal.
That tells me somebody else appealed.
It has to be. I just find it crazy. I guess it's possible. I'm really careful. I'm in IT, so I use
you sound like you know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. And so I'm thinking nobody's going to get into my. Every time I try to log into my account from a new computer, it goes through all this authentication. And so, I mean, it's still possible. That's the only thing I can think of. Like, it had to be.
I think it's crossed wires, because you didn't appeal it either. Which is why I think you might be able to create a new account. I mean, it's not.
I'm going to give it a shot. I didn't even try that. I was like, it's not that important to me. But I mean, they'll let me download my stuff. It says download your data. It's like, here, you can take your stuff and go home.
Well, download it, create a new account, and re-upload it.
I don't really care. I don't put anything on there.
So did you put Eddie as a profile picture?
I have profile picture. I put Eddie Van Halen. I've done this many times with, my favorite celebrities or someone that passes away, and I'll put a picture on there as a tribute. The rest in peace. But I read their policy, and I'm thinking, because it says you violated this policy, and on there it says you have to. It's not just posting a picture.
You have to say, I am Eddie Van Halen. Yeah.
You have to be actively trying, which would mean that my name would have to be Eddie Van Halen.
Right. No, I don't.
And I understand that. And it's like, that's not what I did. And I've done it many times. So.
And have you checked to see? Here's one other thing. Check to see if you can go to your old account, not log into it, but go to it on the web.
Oh, no, I've already tried.
It's gone. It says this person doesn't exist.
Oh, not only that, my wife, on her Facebook, it used to say...
Married to,
married
and now she's not married anymore. Yeah.
No, it just says married.
Oh, it just says married, but not who to. Yeah, I did that to my wife, too. I didn't realize it when I quit Facebook. She said, no, I'm not married.
Oh, no, it doesn't say that. It just says married.
I'll have to see if she's married or not.
She's married, but it's not to me, I guess. I don't...
Somebody not on Facebook, which means he's a non-person. This really is the problem with companies like this. It
is crazy.
It's crazy.
I found one video, very current video on YouTube, where this girl had the same thing happen to her, and she found a loophole through the Quest. She went to Quest support and said, "Hey, I'm thinking of buying this." It took her a while. She actually got it done.
That would be interesting, worth a try. What I would do, Jim, is I would try to create a new account with a variant on your name. James instead of Jim or whatever.
Yeah, well, that's what I had, and also there is a lot of with my last name.
Yeah. So create a new account and see if it sticks. I bet it will. And then download your data and put it in new. And just don't ever change your profile photo again. That seems like a dumb thing, but Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Dickie DeBartolo. It's Dick DeBartolo, Mad Magazine's maddest writer, and the Gizwiz. Hello, Dick DeBartolo.
Leo, how you doing?
Could not be better. I am feeling fine. You know what happened the other day?
What?
My wife, you know her well, the lovely Lisa, said, she's lying in bed. She said, I wish I had a pinpoint light so that I could read in bed. And I said, well, I just happen to have a dozen of them right here. Because of you. I bought 6 of one, and then you mentioned another one. The next week I bought 6 of the other one. And I've been dying for somebody just, come up to me and say, I wish I had a pinpoint reading light, because I've got them. Lots of them.
Excellent.
She loves it, by the way.
Did you hook it up? Oh, good.
She uses the big one. So you mentioned one that was small, and then one was big, and I had the big one. I said, well, try this. And the only problem is our bed is so massive. It's like a medieval, it's like Henry VIII's bed, that there's nowhere to clamp, because, it has a clamp.
Oh,
but there's nothing, all the edges are thick, so there's nothing to clamp it to.
My God.
So I just said, I'll hold it while you read.
That's good. Yeah. There you go.
Yeah.
There
you
go.
read, I'll just be your light stand.
But drill a hole in the mattress, put a broomstick in it.
There you go.
There you go.
There you
go. It's like easy as ABC.
Dick is a gizmo wizard. Besides being Mad Magazine's maddest writer, he's writing for Mad Magazine for decades. He's also a fan of the gizmo, the gadget, the crappy thing that you find in the back of CES. What do you got for us this week?
Okay, so a couple of weeks ago, it was freezing in New York City, so I called ABC and said, how about unique, unusual gadgets to keep you warm? And they said, oh, that's great.
Good.
And then I hung up the phone and I said, what
are they? I need some unique.
All right, so
yes.
All right, do you know about the heated mouse house?
No.
Okay.
In case your mouse gets cold?
Yeah, well, in case your hands get cold while you're mousing. Now, you can buy heated mice.
Wait a minute. There's a mouse pad in it, and you put your mouse and your hand in the thing?
Yes, and they can be weird looking.
It's a giant paw.
And, one of them is a giant paw, and there's no danger because they use USB for the heat. The one company said they heat up to 113 degrees.
There's no danger to the heated mouse house. I'm so glad to hear you say that.
Well, you're not going to plug it into a 110-volt thing.
No,
and
have to shock yourself.
Yeah, exactly.
That's so cute. That's so cute.
And then so the little heating pad is up top. And I tried it with a wired mouse and a wireless mouse. Worked fine both ways. There's a little opening in the back where the USB cable comes out. So if we use a wired mouse, there's enough room there for the cable for the wired mouse to come out and also go to the computer. And then I bought, and when I was on Amazon earlier today, the thing is like $17, but it said click here for $8 off. So it looks like if you buy it, it's like $9. Now, I bought a more expensive one because it had more gadgetry, okay? The more expensive one had a little control panel with low, medium, and high heat.
Well, that's what you're paying for.
And auto off. So in case you plugged it into like your laptop and your laptop wasn't plugged in and you didn't want to run the battery down, you could set it to shut off automatically after 2, 4, or 8 hours. I'm not sure why they skipped 6.
Is this a massive problem that people's hands are getting cold? Like, what about the rest of your body?
Well, what do I care? I'm just doing unusual things.
Okay, you don't care.
No, wait. Listen, if you buy an electric heater on Amazon, it says right there, heats everything but the back of your hand.
Oh, of course.
So
there you go.
That's what I'm...
Actually...
That's why...
I was going to give my wife slippers for Christmas, so maybe I'll give her slippers and a mouse garage.
Yeah. Well, you know what? I don't have arthritis, but I bet if you have...
That's probably what it is, sure.
If you have trouble and bad circulation...
Cold joints, yeah.
Yeah, you can put one hand in your pocket, but your mouse hand would have to be on the desk. Is this going to be up there with the purse thing? I'm getting that feeling.
Yeah, where's your hands? They're in the heated mouse house. What do you think?
Yes, right. I couldn't answer the phone when you called because my hand was in the mouse garage.
That's wild. That's wild. So, when is this going to be on World News Now?
Let's see. I'm going to record it tomorrow and probably Monday or Tuesday.
So next week, look for Dick in the middle of the night on World News Now on ABC.
Exactly.
And you have other stuff, I take it, but you're going to stretch it out.
Oh, my God. I have a ton of I have one other thing that's kind of neat. I'll do that next week here. Yeah.
All these little
And I
weird...
love it. I do it from here. It's great.
Oh, you don't have to go in anymore.
No, I take this flag off and there's an ABC flag under that.
That's so funny, Mike flag. I think you nominated me to do it once, and I went in, and it's like midnight at the ABC building in New York City, and it's in the Upper West Side, and there's like one guy there. You go in, say I'm here. It's kind of echoey and quiet. I'm here for World News Now.
And the security people are frightened when you come in.
Yeah, because they're not.
They never see anybody. And I was checking in, and I said, "Oh, okay." He said, "Do you have a pencil?" And I said, "Do I have a pencil?"
Nobody ever comes and visits us.
No, he said, I never had to write anybody's name down.
OMG. That's hysterical. It's good. We'll look for you on World News Now. And
okay, very good.
Also, of course, go to his website, gizwiz.biz. You get links to these two different products, the USB heated mouse pad from Palotix and the EVS eLife gray heated mouse garage. What is that? It's just a sad face on it? Is that what it is?
You know what? I do not know. I only bought it because it had this heated
temperature
thing. Yeah,
control.
I guess it's like a sleepy head.
Oh, it's sleepy. Okay, not sad, just sleepy.
Just sleepy.
I'd be sad if somebody kept sticking their fist in my mouth, but okay.
Yeah, exactly. And that one's available in pink, too, if that's not bad enough for you.
You want to see a picture, go to gizwiz.biz. That's his website. While you're there, you can also play the What the Heck Is It contest, a chance to win an autographed copy of Mad Magazine if you can identify this close-up picture. This one just started. You got to the end of the year to do this one. What is that? I don't know.
Oh, that's good. Okay, that's good.
That's a real mystery. Up to 18 copies of Mad Magazine, autographed by Dick DeBartolo, Mad's maddest writer. Giz, G-I-Z, Wiz, W-I-Z.B-I-Z. His podcast, by the way, which is great with Chad Johnson, is gizwiz.tv. Thank you, Dickie D.
Thank you, sir. See you next week.
See you next week. Thanks for the gizmo, the gadget, the weird stuff. I never even thought this was a category. The heated mouse pad, the heated mouse house. That wraps it up for today's second British invasion music show, plus a little tech guy on the side. Thank you to Professor Laura, our musical director, showing the depth of her knowledge, really. To Kim Schaffer, our phone angel, for getting you on the air here. Most of all, thanks to you for calling and listening. I really appreciate it. Couldn't do it without you. It'd be silly for me just to sit here talking about myself. I mean, I would do that anyway, but I don't think anybody would pay me to do it, so I appreciate it. We will be back next time. I hope you will too. Leo Laporte, the tech guy. Have a safe Geek Week. Bye-bye. Well, that's it for the Tech Guy Show for today. Thank you so much for being here. And don't forget, TWiT, T-W-I-T. It stands for This Week in Tech, and you'll find it at twit.tv, including the podcasts for this show. We talk about Windows on Windows Weekly, Macintosh on MacBreak Weekly, iPads, iPhones, Apple Watches on iOS Today, security on Security Now. I mean, I can go on and on and on. And, of course, the big show every Sunday afternoon, This Week in Tech. You'll find it all at twit.tv. And I'll be back next week with another great Tech Guys show. Thanks for joining me. We'll see you next time.